present. 6 present, 1 absent. I would.
District mission statement. It is the mission of the Flint School District to develop a community of learners who are prepared to live, work, and contribute in an ever-changing society. The Flint Board of Education standards of practice in order to provide outstanding leadership and better serve the Flint community schools. We, the members of the Flint Board of Education, commit to the following standards of practice. Number 1, we will be consistent in our dealings with each other, as well as students, staff, and community.
We will model trustworthiness and honesty in our relationships with each other, with our superintendent, and with our constituents.
We will focus on a common goal of providing the best education possible for the students of Flint Community School.
I respect the diverse views that each of us brings to the organization, as well as the view of others that we interact with as we carry out the business of the Board of Education.
We will be open and authentic with each other, our staff, and community.
As we work to make decisions, we will focus on issues, not personalities.
Our decisions will be student-centered and based on objective facts.
We will practice good listening skills to better understand our fellow Board of Education member and constituents.
Thank you. I seek a motion and second to approve the minutes from the special board meeting, closed session, regular board meetings, and the minutes for the motion made during the NSBA training for July the 2026.
So moved.
Support.
It been properly moved and second. Look at your package, are there any corrections regarding those dates? Seeing none, the motion to approve the minutes for the July the 2026, the board meeting and training will be conducted by a roll call vote. Board members, I call your name, please say yes or no. Trustee King?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna?
Yes.
Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre?
Yes.
And myself, yes. 1 absent, which is Trustee Booth. 6 yes. Motion passes. The board will not hear comments from the public. We ask that you state the reason for addressing the board and that you limit your remarks to 3 minutes on matter within the authority of the board and not address individuals by name. The presiding officer of the board shall have the right to limit the number of persons who may address the board on the same subject. Please state your name and address first before beginning to speak. Anyone that would like to speak, the lecturer is over to the left. Please come forward.
Good evening. My name is Audrey Young Muhammad. I reside on Kirkwood. You said that's what I'm supposed to say, just the name and address, right? So I'm here to continue with a complaint against the current principal here at Brownell School, her security, and one of her other staff who have been constantly harassing. I'm trying not to say their names. They have been harassing my daughter and my granddaughter. But what I'm asking, and I think I sent out an email to the board today and asking and requesting that their names be cleared of the accusations that have been brought against them. The principal of this school filed a false report accusing her of my daughter of having a gun, accused her of threatening to shoot up the school, and other things, which there is no police report stating that, and if she threatened to shoot up the school, there should have been a police report that should have went in. She had her banded. She was banded from the school for the whole school year, and we was told on Tuesday, June the 16th, by both superintendent and Mr. Steward that ban was lifted because the school year was over with. We came up here on August the 8th. The principal here at this school went and called the police and accused my daughter of threatening her and doing a whole lot of things. She claimed she had paperwork, but we ain't seen the paperwork yet because there shouldn't be any paperwork if it was dropped. She was already warned 3 times not to bother my daughter. My daughter saw her at Sam's Club and said, "Get out of me and my children's face because you lied on us." I came up here the day before the last day of school and said, "My daughter don't want you touching her children's hand. She don't want you saying anything to them." So that was the second time she was warned. And on August the 8th, she asked her to get out of her face. When she told her to get out of her face, that's when she proceeded to call in the police and file a fake report stating that she felt threatened. If she was threatened, she was still out here and around and about in the courtyard, never went in. She turned the people who were actually the program people that was bringing the program here, she had those people saying, "You all need to leave," because they thought we were causing a problem, not realizing that the principal at this school was lying about all of that. I would like to know, was there going to be a full investigation? I know that we had already talked a little bit, but we never had a follow-up from you, superintendent, and we want you to be able to call us. I'm going to say this in my last 20 seconds. I equate her behavior as that of Carolyn Bryant, the woman who lied on Emmett Till and got him killed. She is no better than Carolyn Bryant, but we must stop that. She has to stop that behavior, and this is not the first time. She also did it over at Durant Turrimont and had the police harassing a young man over there because he reported their abusive behavior towards some of the students that was over there. I remember the incident because I was on Facebook, on social media with that young man, trying to help him to navigate that. So she's been a problem before, and it's been several times, and calling CPS on parents who have been complaining about her.
Thank you.
Not fair.
Thank you very much. Next public speaker.
I don't know, my name is Aniska Gomez. I don't know if I'm the right place, but I would like to know about Zimmerman School on Corona Road. The school is abandoned.
I cannot hear you clearly. Can you?
Zimmerman School Center, Zimmerman, yes. That school, I buy a property across, and that school has a lot of classroom next to my house, is abandoned too. I would like to know how can I buy some properties next to my house or to fix the neighborhood a little bit, and what is the plan for that school? That is ugly, there's a lot of junky people there, and I clean my house, and they put a lot of trash there, so I would like to buy some properties of that part.
Thank you very much. Next public speaker.
Good afternoon, school board. Hi, my name is Cynthia Haynes. I'm a parent and I'm also a member of the Block Club, Holmes Brownell Block Club. August the 8th, we put on a special event for the community, a community engagement resource event for our community and for our students. This was something spectacular. A lot of people know me in the community. A lot of things that I do, I don't let people know. A lot of things that I am behind, I make sure that my community benefit, and also we work with the Block Club. That particular day between 1 and 1:30, I witnessed, anybody know me, I videoed all positive things. I never try to put out nothing negative because Flint and our school system, we do not need that. I witnessed a young lady that was on the phone, and whatever she was angry about, she was saying some very foul, negative, notorious, nasty things. At the process that the parents and the children were standing here. We do not need, whatever situation is going on, you as a parent and in organization, something special that the Block Club put on, that's something I advocated for almost a year ago, that they came to me and I said, no, we're going to do this in a cubicle. Go talk with my Block Club president, because I try to incorporate anything that I do. I want to incorporate my community and my Block Club. I witnessed a young lady, for whatever reason, she was angry. And I get that things happen, but when you're at a community event and a setting where there are students and there are parents and we have community partners and organizations, I don't think that anything that's negative as far as foul and harsh language, it's cursing, I don't think that should be presented. And that's just my view. And I filed a complaint. I don't know if the superintendent got it, but I filed a complaint. I also will be filing a complaint with the state, and I also will be filing a complaint with Linda McMahon, the Trump administration, which I already sent her people email of a copy of it. What I'm asking for is that we have to protect our educators. Right now, our educators are going through a lot. Our children are unable to read. They're unable to write. We have teachers that are overworked and they are underpaid. So we need to protect them as far as their mental capacity and their ability, because we need solid, caring teachers that's going to come into these urban communities and look after our children, look after our parents, because they are part of the community that helps the community grow. And I'm asking the Board of Education, the board, to look into my complaint. And we need to set proper measures so that not only can we protect our staff, our educators, our administration, our students, and our parents as well, because this is unacceptable. If you would have been there and you would have heard the foul language and seen the look on the community member's face, it was horrible. And that is unacceptable for anybody. I was there. I was standing right there. In fact, they have me on camera. I'm asking y'all to address
Thank
this,
you.
please.
Next public speaker.
Hello, my name is Atrice Young, and I am the one that has been lied on about the gun, which y'all been spoken to about this plenty of times. Ms. Shea has told plenty of lies with me, saying I was gonna shoot the school up. Why would I shoot the school up if my kids are in the school? Anyway, it's been a little, but since referring to you, Miss Cynthia, what you talking about Saturday?
Excuse me,
No.
no back and forth. Excuse me.
Okay, but I'm just saying.
Excuse me,
so-
this is public speaking. We do not go back and forth.
Okay, so in refer to what
Excuse
what
me.
is talked about Saturday, she apparently didn't see the whole thing before whatever part she's saying. When I came here, the security guard at this school, I was on the phone with my mother and said, "Mother, the security guard is here." She said, "Atrice, come on out," because they had been starting trouble with me. As I was walking out, the security guard looked at me and said, "Girl," I said, "Girl, what?" And she said, "If you didn't have your baby," that's a threat. And for anybody to think I'm not supposed to feel threatened when I have my child, oh, I'm on straight defense mode. Well, I'm here to say y'all need to get rid of Miss Shea and y'all security y'all have around here. You can't sit there and say, "Oh, you feel threatened by me," but you walking up to me constantly saying, "Hi, how you doing?" If you're so threatened by me, why are you constantly coming up to me to try to speak to me and my children? But I'm gonna say this and excuse my language. Her little minions around here, they are like the slave, like the house nigga. That's what they is. And Miss Shea acts like she's their slave master. They do whatever she tells them to do. And for them to fall into line, and she's nothing against y'all race, but you are a white person in this black community and you're pitting black people against black people. Some people may not look at it like that. That's how I look at it. You're constantly telling them to attack me. She told them to dog watch me. When you tell somebody to dog watch me, that means you're ready to attack me. And baby, that's something you don't want to do. And excuse me for being mad about this, but I am, because this is a constant thing that's been going on. Ain't nothing been settled about this. And then y'all banded me because it was so-called a gun in my car. We went to the police station to even see if that was a report on that. Where's the report? Did y'all even say anything to the police officer? I asked the police officer personally. She said she didn't say that. So I'm here to say, so y'all need to get these people up out of here. I'm sorry to say this. Luckily, I am in calm as I am, and my mother has been able to calm me down, because y'all gonna get the wrong parent to come up here, and it ain't gonna be nothing nice. And I'm not saying that to make that a threat, so don't take it as a threat. But y'all gonna get the wrong people up in here that's gonna come and get her. It's been too many people that I didn't even know that they seen and heard about it, that I didn't know, came up to me talking and said, "Get your child out that school. Miss Shea is a problem." One of my friends said, he told me at the beginning of the school year, I said, "No, I'm gonna try to work with Flint Public Schools." And y'all ain't showed me no reason to keep my kids here. Mr. Kevlin, we talked it to you. So my thing is, if I was no longer banned, and when that stuff happened, when you came up here, where's the paperwork? Because that's something that should have been put at this school, saying she's no longer banned. She was mad because I told her, "Get out my face. Don't talk to me. You feel so threatened by me. Don't get in my face. You so scared of me. Why you keep talking to me?" A person who's so scared that a person said they're gonna shoot up the school wouldn't keep coming up talking to that person. So I'm asking y'all, put in the paperwork saying I'm banned. I also need a paper of that. because I'm allowed to come up here, and I am gonna continue to come up here on school grounds.
Thank you. Next public speaker. Next public speaker.
My name is Amaria Armour, and I'm going to seventh grade. And I want to speak about what had happened to me at Brownell STEM Academy. Miss Shea, she was lying on my mom, and she was being mean to me with the bully I had. Like, I would tell her what happened to me, and instead of her checking the cameras or see what happened, she would just say she suspended me, and she wouldn't even try to see what really happened. And one time I got kicked in my back and knocked over, and I told Miss Shea, and instead of her really trying to see what happened, she told me she got tired of me of telling every little thing that happened, and she suspended me for 2 days. And that's what. My name is Ahmad Armour, and I'm going to third grade, and I'm gonna speak about what I have witnessed at Brownell STEM Academy. Miss Shea, she had been really mean to my mom and to my sister, and she lied on my mom that she had a pew pew.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Next public speaker.
Hello, my name is Brenda Hussey, and I stay in the Merrill School Area District. I'm wondering why were trees planted on their property? There's a lot of trees that weren't even upkeep. There's a lot of trees overflowing in the street. And someone told me they were trying to make a park out of that area. Someone came and planted those trees all around the border from April all the way up until 2 weeks ago. And I was wondering, why did they plant trees over there? The other day, there was a car sitting over there. Police didn't come or call me back until today. So I want to know what's going on. I called the superintendent, I called Patty Hill or somebody like that, and no one has called me back. Thank you.
That was Merrill, you said? Next public speaker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tavesha Doss, and I'm here because I'm interested in purchasing a property at 1844 South Averill Avenue, Flint 48503. I was told that it is owned by the Flint Board of Education, and I was just wondering if they were open to selling the property. I would also like to purchase the property next door that is on the market right now. But I'd like to know whether the board would consider selling this property because I'd like to open and expand my childcare business. And I believe that would be a wonderful location. It's just I had a little bit of trouble trying to find out who was the owner to that 1848 property.
1844,
1844. 1848 is the house that's already on the market.
Yeah, I think that.
But my goal is to invest in that property. I prefer to get both properties, but the one that's owned by the Flint Board of Education, that one needs a lot of work. So I want to invest in that property and improve it, and I just want to use it in a way that positively contribute to the children and families in the area. Thank you.
Next public speaker.
Claire McClinton of Flintstone. I don't have any children or grandchildren, in fact, in Flint Public Schools, but I want to encourage the administration to investigate these issues. These issues, similar issues, came up at the board meeting over at the library. And do an investigation, be fair. Remember that parents is the one that pays the bills around here. And sometimes, with all due respect, we see a portion, my friend, of an incident, but don't know all the background. Like I say, some of these issues were brought up at the school board meeting at the library. So it should have been resolved at that point because it's festering and getting worse and worse. And I have faith that the administration can investigate these matters and come out with a fair situation that's fair to the parents, the children, and we trying to bring more children back into this district? Come on now. So anything that some of us can do to help as far as mediating problems, we're willing to do it. But we have to be fair and we have to look at the whole picture, not just bits and pieces. Thank you.
Thank you. Next public speaker. Seeing no further public speaker, I want to let you know the lady just speaking about the property on Hebert, trustee Nona has a card or something that he can give you if it's okay. Trustee.
Yeah, that's fine.
And he'll get in contact with you. No, he'll make sure it happens. Thanks. At this time, we're gonna move into our presentation. We will begin the first presentation for Concentric Education Solution with Ms. Molly Loyd, followed by the enrollment initiative update from Mr. Ernest Steward. Ms. Molly, please proceed.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you. Want to test your mic?
Testing, testing.
All right. Good evening, Superintendent Jones, Board President Ellis McNeil. Board, it's wonderful to see you all again. Thank you for having us back in your community. I am joined this evening by my colleagues, different colleagues that some of you have not met or heard for before. So we're here this evening to talk about our pilot that we have recently concluded that has been supporting the district enrollment and retention initiatives
You
here.
need to speak up.
Speak up a little bit, Mike.
Sure. Can you hear me now?
Now, yes,
much
now that's
better.
better.
All right. So we are here today to talk about our pilot initiative that has recently concluded, that has been in support of the district's enrollment and retention initiatives. And so I'm joined by my colleagues, Dr. Ivory Tolson, who serves as our Chief of Research, as well as our two staff that is in the back that will jump up if there's any questions for them. Ms. Shapriya Johnson, who oversees our engagement and service delivery work, and she is local here in Michigan. She lives in Troy, so not too far. And Saquon Frazier, who oversees our implementation and pilot work. So we've got a timer on this evening. We're going to try and limit this to 10 minutes. In front of you, you have several documents which are very robust in nature. So there is a 45-plus document that shares all of the information from our pilot period. Has been shared previously, and this is a summation of all those different reports. There is also a separate document that is a Q&A document, which highlights some of the questions and topics that we, in advance, thought the board may like to discuss after reviewing the data studies that have been shared. So those are two supporting documents to go with our conversation today. And so we're going to go through some slides. We invite you to ask questions along the way, or we can wait until the end. So you guys let us know what works best for you. So I'm going to ask my colleague, Dr. Tolson, to start us off today with,
Right before you start.
Sure.
Make that decision. So
That's what I was trying to do. Thank you. Board, I think this time is limited. Why don't we wait until they finish the presentation, digest the information, then write your question down?
Okay.
Maybe we can proceed.
Sure.
What I do like for you to do is explain to the public what is Concentric, because I can see the look on their face, you know, what was your purpose and why you here.
Absolutely. And Dr. Tolson and I do that together, and I apologize. I'll introduce myself to everyone in the room. My name is Molly Hebert Loyd, and I have the honor of serving as the CEO of Concentric Educational Solutions. Concentric is an organization that partners with communities across the country to help return students to school that are either chronically absent, struggling with attendance issues, or may no longer be enrolled within their local community schools. And so we have been working throughout the summer on a 90-day pilot supporting Mr. Ernest Steward's work around student support and engagement, retention, and enrollment. And so we are here today to talk about those results and our recommendations for ways that we continue to extend our support and deepen our impact.
All right, good evening.
Trustee,
Yeah. This PowerPoint inside this packet.
It is not. It is a separate resource.
Got you. Will you record that?
Sure, yes. If the gentleman that supports technology could help share that out, that would be wonderful.
okay, Steve, could you share it to the board? I mean, Pam, I'm sorry.
Okay. Thanks, Pam.
Proceed.
All right, good evening. Thank you all so much for allowing us this space to share our work. My name is Ivory Tosin. I'm the Chief of Research. I've been with Concentric for about 3 years. I've really been helping to develop a theory of change of what we do. I'm also a professor at Howard University, and when I walked up, I saw a banner for Howard and Southern University right side by side. Those are the only 2 universities I've ever taught at. I started my career at Southern University, and I've been at Howard for 20 years, so I don't know if y'all did that for me, but thank you all so much. I took a picture of it. And so we're starting with a quote. The path forward centers on moving from simply managing attendance data towards actively cultivating belonging, restoring institutional trust, and fostering deep academic investment. And I believe that captures what we do. A lot of times when we look nationwide, we see attendance as an issue of what's on the spreadsheet. And we see people saying, we need to bring the numbers down, we need to bring the numbers down. But behind every number, there's a child. And what we do at Concentric is we go from home to home to get the stories behind those numbers. Next slide. All right, so this is a snapshot of what we've been involved with in the pilot period. 1,050 home visits across 2 cohorts. About 89% of them were in that transitional high school year period. They had an average of 50 absences, 50.4 absences among this group. And our objective was to do ethnographic field research to gain intelligence from the field about what are the conditions and what are some of the root causes of students not engaging with the school. Next slide. All right, so if you look at the 1,050 visits that we did, about 70% of them were non-contact visits. And these were addresses that went to vacant properties, missing apartment numbers, inaccessible addresses, relocated families, and students incorrectly marked. Although that's a significant chunk, we were able to gather intelligence just by looking at the quality of the information that we're receiving. It's not uncommon when we work with districts for the pilot period to yield those kinds of results. A lot of times it does take a couple of visits to families in order to really connect with someone. And all of these families, where they had an accessible address, they did get correspondence from the school too. So that outreach also helps. But among the nearly 30% where we were able to talk to someone, we got a lot of valuable information from these families. Next slide. And so the next slide will show a matrix that has some of the categories where there was a high frequency of students who missed school and a large average of occurrences. So if you look at bullying and school safety, about 7% listed that as something that limited their ability to come to school. But among them, it was 64% or 64 absences that we saw that occurred in that group. So although it might be a relatively small percent, among that percent accounts for a lot of missed days of school. We also see things like chronic illness. They had 42 absences, relatively small in relationship to the homes that we visited, but it was a very large percent that were dealing with these chronic illnesses that was keeping them away from school. And transportation issues was very, very close to it also. We also had a relocation, housing instability, suspensions and discipline. All of these impacted students coming to school. Next slide. And so on this slide, we see our theory of change. I did come out with a book last month called Possibility and Statistics. Possibility and Statistics helps us to redefine our goal of statistics from just looking at what's likely to happen to looking at what's possible. And this is an approach that we bring to the work with every district that we work with. We don't want to just look at the past and say this is going to predict how often you come to school. We want to understand their own journey, their own pathway, and look at what's possible, not just what's probable. And so a classic deficit-based orientation might ask, why are these students choosing to be absent? But we want to switch that to what are the systemic conditions that are producing this disengagement. The primary focus isn't just compliance, punitive measures, and tracking who's missing, but we want to transform that to identifying structural barriers and building trust, designing for reconnection. And the assumption isn't just that students just don't want to come to school. The assumption is that disengagement occurs in the system, and we need to understand that system better in order to re-engage students to the school. Next slide. And so this shows the ecological systems framework that we use for our ethnographic research. And I'm going to go through all of these different domains, but we have the students at the center. These are the internal barriers, the trauma, the health, academic identity. We have family. That's the second layer, economic instability, caregiver bandwidth. We have the school layer, and we have the community layer. And they'll give some examples of some of what we heard from the field that fits into these domains. So we go to the next slide. So on the first slide, we see the school level root causes. And so these deal with things like climate, academic relevance, exclusionary discipline, facility conditions, and just an example of one of the things that we heard. Someone said there are times when the student and the family were confused about the reasons why they were being suspended. They said that their child enjoys going to school and prefers to be there, but the suspensions has resulted in a lot of missed days. So that's, it's important to have that context when we look at absenteeism. Next slide. And so domain 2, we see the family level root cause. This is where you have the economic instability, health and medical barriers, caregiver capacities. A representative quote, this student had been covered under their father's health insurance, but the father lost a job, and that resulted in the loss of coverage for the child. So just some of the things that these students are dealing with. Next slide. So this one is community level root causes. And so this is a lot of the community level root causes. We were able to see that amplified in the students that where we weren't able to get direct contact from. The vacant lots, the closed buildings, different things like that. A representative quote, her daughter had been shot the previous week, was hospitalized and required surgery, suffered broken ribs. So just again, looking at that story behind the number is really harrowing and really helps us to understand what we're up against in terms of the work that we have to do. Next slide. And then finally, we have our school level, our student level root causes. I have a couple of representative quotes with this. We have trauma, and this one talked about a recent incident where the student allegedly choked their parent in the kitchen. The police was involved. The mother said that this was escalating mental health crisis. Then you have peer dynamics. You have a student who talked about being teased because of their ethnicity, and it happened a lot on the bus. We also had a student whose mother believes that she's reading at a third grade level, even though the student is in high school. And I think he spoke to that earlier. Yeah. Next slide. So as you see from all of these domains, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. But the good thing is that there are strategies that we can use to take this ethnographic evidence and track it back to some actionable solutions. It really does take an ecosystem to do this. It's not just about one vendor or one school, but it's about the vendor, the school, and the community coming together to find solutions to these very specific things that happen. Next slide. And as I turn it back over to my colleague, just want to talk about the paradigm shift that needs to happen, that we think needs to happen in order to really deal with absenteeism in a substantial way. We typically look at absenteeism as a singular behavior, and we focus on the act of not coming to school. And when we just focus on the act, a lot of times the solution becomes a warning or discipline and the expectations that they return. But we see that that typically doesn't work for most of our students. So disengagement is a compounding condition, and that's what's shown through the ethnographic research. So attendance problems become enrollment problems. And for many Flint students, chronic absenteeism is not a singular event, but it's an indicator of a trajectory towards eventually leaving the district. And so it takes an ecosystem, not a singular notice, in order to resolve that. If we have time, then Molly can talk about the ecosystem. The next slide.
So we're at our 10-minute mark. And so I'm going to pause here, and the further slides really go into the ecosystem, as Dr. Tolson shared, about the way that we partner with districts. And it goes into recommendations for ways that we continue to expand and help support. But I'd like to just take 1 minute instead to share the origin story of Concentric that gives a spotlight on what we do. So Concentric was founded by a former educator turned support services, passionate community engagement all-star, who, following a tragedy around the Washington, D.C. area, and some of you may remember this, a woman named Benita Jacks. It's called the Benita Jacks tragedy. And it was an incident when a government institution, government agency went to check on the mother that was in the home and ultimately evict her from her home. And during that visit, they found that her children were deceased. And all 4 of her children had been absent from school. And there were so many individual institutions and agencies and organizations and people responsible for serving those children. And somehow the system fell apart because they were not communicating with one another, and no one went to check on those kids. And it was at that time that our founder used that as the catalyst to start our organization for the purpose of breaking down the silos that exist between all of the various stakeholders that serve our children. Every district that we partner with has many different resources and people who help with one particular part of the problem along the journey. What Concentric does is serve as a through line to all of those phases to ensure a process and accountability so that it doesn't fall apart, so that we can help ensure the journey of that child after we do the work and the ethnography that Dr. Tolson leads to uncover the barrier. We not only bring kids back to school, but we then connect them to all of the community-based resources, partners of the district, additional resources that can then provide the supports that our students need. So I'll pause there rather than go through more details about recommended ways that we can support the district moving forward. You all have that in your packet. It's something that you all can review. We would welcome questions. We can communicate via email. We can have a follow-up conversation around that so that we don't take up too much time today, unless that's where you guys want to drive with your questions. So I will open it up now to see what questions you all have and where you'd like to go.
Board members, David, any questions? And we don't raise your hand.
It's up.
I'm just saying.
It's up.
You ready? It's okay to go? I read your extensive, report. I was really upset because of all of the things that are disconnected, which are causing a lot of the absences. And like you said, you're a through thread. And so I hope that really happens so that we can get those children back in school. But it was so in-depth, all the things, all of the responses from the parents and the children. I was just overwhelmed after I read the report, and I read the whole report. So I'm praying that Concentric can help us bridge those gaps and bring those children back into school this year. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I appreciate you saying that, and writing it was heavy, but it did connect me in some kind of way to Flint. This is my first time physically in Flint. I was on a Zoom call with all of y'all, like to see y'all in person, and it's nice to be here in person. But it's, hearing the stories, it's easy for it to weigh on your heart heavy, but the fact that they were willing to talk to us, the fact that a stranger would come to their door, and it's because Saquon is very good with people. He's right back there, but the fact that they would share such intimate details, that means that they're yearning for this type of support. And so I think that there's a lot of potential here. I think the fact that they said this much in a pilot means that they're ready to engage in a longer strategy in order to really build this community.
So, yes, thank you. I appreciate it. I welcome the chance to further discuss because this is right up my alley, and I'm really interested in the data that you provided. I read it all, and I'm glad that with ethnography, it's both an art and a science. And you've got the art, which is the heart part of it. I mean, it's science to get the data down and everything, but I really appreciate that part of it. And I'm glad that we have so-called outsiders coming in because sometimes you need legitimacy from outsiders to reinforce what the insiders have been saying all along. And I'm glad that you're here to explain the connection between the micro and the macro, because I feel like I've been trying to say it till I'm blue in the face, and it's really nice to have so-called experts to come in and just try to, validate that. One of the things that struck me was those stories that we've all heard. So we're not unfamiliar with them, but the ability to connect them to the larger social structures and the larger issues, which we are also very much familiar with. And we understand how some of these things are, you've got the micro, the mid, and the macro, and how they're all interconnected. And so I'm glad that you've identified that there's like a missing thread between the communication between these. We have these different silos like throughout the community. And so the first thing to do is to identify that, and then we can figure out what we're gonna and how we can do that. Let me just give you one example is we know that it's just hard to get students to show up to get them to school. And for whatever reason, whether it's the desire to be there, the fact that we schedule school way too early in the morning before the sun's even up, all sorts of things. But looking at a couple of the stories, it struck me, and I don't think it was statistically significant, but it seems like a case could be made, was that there were problems with the transportation services not being coordinated in such a way that it was conducive to maximizing travel in a financially, fiscally responsible way. And that, if, you get some people like 5 minutes late consistently, or they don't show up, or there's that data itself was really important because I remember before I ran on the board, I would get students coming to me like, here's our problem, here's why we can't get to school. And so I'm glad we've got an organization to try to do that. So that was just one thing. There's hundreds more. So I appreciate that. I also would like in your report, like I don't know if you had this, I had to do this with pipe replacement. I was hired as a consultant to go like door to door to figure out, stuff like that. And one of the things you struck me, I think, is you had 1,050 touches, right? So, and I mean, I wasn't surprised, but I was sort of surprised. Like, so you get a list of addresses and you go and there's no house. House is just gone. And you're like, all right, huh? Well, I mean, a house is there 1 month and then it's not there, like in the next month. And so you have this list and that's our reality. Like, we've been dealing with that. I mean, I've had to do other things where I've had to go door to door and things like that. If you could like include that in your report, the fact is like 1 month, a student could be living there and going to school and then the very next month, and I think there's a lot of like ethnographic educational studies that show that this has been happening for over 100 years. I mean, you get people who are itinerant, not that they're unhoused, but that they go from house to house and it's hard to keep track of them. So you were saying that you had 29% of the 1,050 visits that were actually contacted. And I would love to get like more information about that because, contacting means, hey, we see you and we're going to slam the door in your face, or yes, you can come in and talk to us, all sorts of things. So I would love to see that data. I don't want to dwell on it because that's something that I think we need to roll up our sleeves and do later. What I want to see is more of this. This is the pilot program. If this was just, 29% of 1,000 visits, imagine how much more we could do with your expertise. And I want to emphasize to the board and to the community and to the staff and the administration that this isn't replacing teachers, it's not replacing staff, it's not replacing administration. This is here for you to help and to bolster our efforts, right? So this is an addition, this is a supplement, this is extra on top of what is already done. And I don't know how to emphasize that because we have such a culture here of competitive, like, this is my turf, this is, my silo, these are my clients, this kind of thing. And we need to open more of that up. And this is the start of that, I see, because you've got the stories and then we need to figure out like what to do with it. So I don't want to go on, but I really appreciate that. And I do want to say, as someone who uses ethnography, who is an ethnographer, very well done. Well done. Thank you. So, I mean, for real, for real.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, thank you. And
Yeah.
I remember the meeting, the Zoom meeting, and
Yeah.
you had a lot of pointed questions. And I actually had a little anxiety after that first meeting. So it's very gratifying to hear that you recognize it because I could tell that you have the expertise during our first meeting. And you said a lot, but I do want to protect their children. It's okay for the community to feel ownership and to maybe even have a little anxiety. And when we come into a community, we recognize who we are, and we recognize that there's an advantage to someone from the outside sharing some of that knowledge, but it can never replace the intimate knowledge that the families have, the teachers have. So just wanna honor that.
And just who was the individual who did most of the interviews? Who was that? Okay, I just wanted to.
So Saquon lives in Baltimore where home office is, but he facilitates all of our pilots. But once we move from a pilot into a partnership, Saquon oversees the hiring of our local community-based teams. So while we bring the expertise as a national organization, to your point, and have that framework, what makes us powerful is that we hire and build our teams from the communities that we serve. So when our teams are knocking on doors to talk to children and family members, they understand the neighborhood, they understand the dynamic, they have shared lived experiences. It's not a punitive conversation. It's an empathetic community member who was there to help understand what the family's experiencing so that we can then connect them to the support they need to get back to school.
Trustee Rutherford? Thank you.
I didn't catch your name, sir. I know you, hi Molly, I remember you, but sorry, I
Good to
didn't
see
catch your name.
It's Ivory Tolson.
I can't say that. Hi, sir. For me, I would just like to know, what did you share with Mr. Stewart that he did not know already about the community? Did you have any aha moments?
One of the things was the attrition in population.
Say that again.
The attrition in population.
Attrition in population, can you
so-
explain that?
So in terms of what the population was at one time to what it is now,
Okay,
learning about, how large the city was at one point in time, and how large the district was. That was something that was.
that was an aha moment for you.
Yeah.
Okay, my question was, what's the aha moment for Mr. Stewart? What he did not know?
Oh, from Mr. Stewart.
Oh, you don't know who Mr. Stewart is?
No, he does.
Someone,
Ernest,
Ernest? Yeah, Ernest, yeah.
Oh, he doesn't call you Mr. Stewart. I'm sorry. I apologize. Well, Ernest.
Okay. First name basis.
Sorry.
So you want to know what the aha moment for Mr. Stewart Ernest was?
I don't know if we can speak to
Yeah,
his
I
aha
wouldn't
moment.
wanna
Mr. Stewart, did you have an aha moment? Did they provide you with some information that you were not aware of?
Like Ms. McIntyre stated, a lot of the information we are very aware of
Mhm.
already. But the information that they provided, I like the report and how they formatted it and gave it to us. But it was definitely information that we knew. And the only aha moment that I would say was the aha moment is that it made us identify some glitches in our system,
Mhm.
because when they did go out and did the 1,050 visits, and when they came back with the numbers, I was shocked at how many were the vacant homes, and that parents didn't live there because we're so mobile.
Okay,
That was a aha for me, that I was shocked at that amount.
okay. Well, we do know buildings do not,
Right.
homes do not get tore down in 30 days. You have a process. So if they were there 30 days, it's not going to be tore down. Let's clear that. Flint is not that on point. Go ahead, Mr. Ernest. Can I call you Ernest too?
Yes, you can. But I provided them information for the previous 2 years.
Okay, you provided it.
Yeah, we provided data for the previous 2 years
Mhm.
for them to go out and conduct those home visits, those students who were disengaged or left the district for the previous 2 years.
Okay. Well, I think everyone in the district know that the demographics are always probably 45% accurate because of the mobility of the population that we service. What I would be looking for is like referrals. So out of the 1050 that you went out, 30%, what happened with the 30%? Were our action plans in place in regards to provide wraparound services or gaps, or what are we doing with that? Or are we waiting until a partnership is established? I will hope the answer is no.
No, we're not waiting for the partnership to establish. They did provide us with some.
Go ahead, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
They did provide us with a number of like maybe 29 families who was considering returning to Flint schools. We immediately reached out to those families. However, but they were in charter schools. However, when we reached out to them, they did not want to, return to Flint school.
Okay.
So as soon as they provided us the information of those that was considering it, we immediately, reached out to them and tried to get them in the district.
Was that information shared as to why, I don't want to know what it was, but was the reason that they were not returning shared with Superintendent Jones so that we can make some adjustments some places? Not
Well,
yet.
The information wasn't shared, not yet, no.
It wasn't yet. Okay, very good. Thank you. No further questions for Melody.
Trustee King?
Yes. I wanted to know, first, thank you for the report. I think the report was robust. It really provided a nice breakdown and analysis of what we've known, but seeing it in this kind of format was definitely eye-opening a little bit more. I would ask you, so we got the report. I'm looking at this Q&A here. And so what is your recommendations for next phase?
Sure. So our current recommendations, based on our collaboration, is an extension of the work that we began. So we really look at that in 3 different buckets. The first bucket, and if you look at the larger document, it is the 4th and final section of that document. It goes into it in more detail. So the first section or bucket of work is continued strategies for engagement, and that is through home visit work. So hiring teams locally, training, and continuing to do the home visit work. Now, our pilot work here was unique in that we did it for 2 different purposes. We did it not only to re-engage students that are currently enrolled in the district, but we did it to also support efforts to recruit students that have been lost, that are no longer going to school here, or no longer enrolled here.
So what I see here is mentorship, a PSA mentor. And this PSA mentor would necessarily do what exactly?
So that's the second bucket of work. So we begin the work by doing the home visits and understanding the needs of the families. And then through that process, we identify specific students that may need additional supports. So those tier 3 kids, maybe tier 2, tier 3 kids that need further wraparound services. And then we collaborate with the local teams here, the school teams, to understand what programs, what resources are currently in place, and if these students could benefit from being part of a mentorship cohort, which is our next level of wraparound support.
In mentorship, what do you assume this mentorship to look like?
So we have a robust mentorship framework. We have a mentorship curriculum. Mentorship is something that we've been providing for students and families for many years. A big part of it is the customization piece. So we don't simply want to come in and say, this is exactly what mentorship looks like. We need to understand deeply what current mentorship services are offered, what partners are in place, so that we can modify what our potential offering looks like. But ultimately, it would be those PSAs, our professional student advocate mentors. They work with a cohort of children, oftentimes a caseload of kids, and they spend time with them on consistent weekly basis. They perform family engagement home visits to build relationships with families and guardians, to help communicate the needs back and forth. And they establish they become another trusted adult in that child's life. And they serve as a through line to all the additional adults and stakeholders who are helping to support that child.
Okay, so so make sure I heard you right. So you want an extension to continue to do more home visits?
For bucket 1, yes.
For bucket 1,
Mhm.
and then you're gonna come back afterwards for bucket 2?
Simultaneously.
Okay. Now, how much are you looking, how much for this program?
So there are some numbers in there that show what a possible partnership could look like.
Okay.
It's the very final portion of the packet in section 4.
Oh, okay. So $450,000
And
for
the
the first
rough-
year.
Correct.
Can you walk me through that?
Sure. And so the numbers on the first year were to provide a repository type of bank for home visits, which allows us to then customize very specific and tailored plans around home visits directly with the local team.
Okay.
So there's not a rigid structure around that. So that way we can not only build custom plans for home visits, but also provide on-demand home visits as needed. So that's the first breakdown of the cost for the home visits. And then the second is for the mentorship, which is very similar in that we provide a set number of sessions of mentorship that are then constructed for a specific program for every campus that we work with, for all the cohorts of kids.
Got you.
So one campus may need 50 sessions, another campus might need 450 sessions. It depends on the students, the needs that we uncover, and the plan that we build.
Then I see here, the partnership every year after there is not expected to be $450,000.
Correct.
So I mean, was the itemized kind of like the a la carte? What does that look like for the following year?
That simply represents the notion that the first year and a half of our work with school systems is the most intensive part of our work, because it's when we are beginning the heavy volume of canvassing the community and unearthing all the ethnography and all the information that we need to inform what our potential solutions could be going forward. So we recognize that this is a greater volume of work. Over time, we're building local capacity, we're building our local teams, we're impacting attendance, absenteeism rates, engagements increasing. As we see those, it becomes more sustainable over time.
Cool. My last question here is,
Sure.
your PSA mentors, do you send them into the community? Do you send people into the community, or do you hire from the community?
We hire from the community.
Oh, okay.
So oftentimes these mentors and all of our PSAs are existing volunteers that may be volunteering within the school system and may not be getting paid.
Wait, they don't get paid from this?
No, they do. They
Oh,
become
okay,
employees
just
of ours,
volunteer,
right?
okay.
So we prefer to hire
Hire, okay.
volunteers or individuals from the community, right? So then they become our employees and part of our teams. But they go through our proprietary training, right? So they will earn a certificate in collaboration with Howard University, go through our training program. They'll get to utilize all of our technology and our resources in order to perform their day-to-day tasks
Okay.
in their home visits and mentorship services.
Cool, thank you.
You're
So that's
welcome.
all my questions. Yeah.
Sure.
Are there any more questions? Then it's my turn. I kind of wrote them down, some things that you said. So we had an average of 50 absences in the last school year.
I'm sorry, say that again?
Concentric visit and had an average of 50 absences in the last school year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these were students who are identified to having attendance issues. So that's not the average across every student in the district.
So all the students that we worked with, the collective average of their attendance had 50.
Yeah.
Little over 50, I think, absences.
I want to say I appreciate the work that you guys are doing. This school, this district is in serious situation. We have low enrollment. We're now in the red on both sides of the books. We have an academic failure. We have absenteeism as one of them. We have students leaving the district, and we can give them 1,000 reasons why they're leaving. But I appreciate that you're knocking on the door and you're hearing their voices. This is what community engagement looks like. And so it's saying all of that we understood what is going on, but hearing it from a different resources. And I know you hear this all the time, but we got people doing this. We got people doing this. My question would be, why are we where we at? One of the things, you listen to the media. Flint kid this, Flint kids that. Teachers not teaching Flint kids this. But you got down and you asked the serious questions. And the parents are telling us, I would like to see more work done in this as relates to absenteeism, as it relates to some of the chronic problems that we are having. I've been on the board 6 years and I have not seen a report, so you can't argue with data when it's from the community mouth. It's time that we get off of these kids' back, put them ahead of us. Our teachers need more space, better space, more pay, all this demand on them. And here we are with less than 3,000 students. And we talk about we love the teacher, we want this here. We cannot do anything without a commitment from parents to re-enroll your kids in Flint Public School. And we make a commitment. Every kid matters. Every student matters. We got to fix the problem. You gave some good ideas. I mean, not ideas, these are from the parent mouth. Our job is to fix it. The audience job is to help us fix it. It's just 7 board members up and everybody got an idea. But when the parents in the community speak, it goes from here to here. I would like to see more work done. I know Mr. Steward has been doing some work, and I'm quite sure if we love this community, it's not about who on first and who on second, what we've been doing, we don't need you. That's not where we at. We need each other. We need each other. And not taken away from Mr. Stewart now, they an executive. They got work to do inside administration. You guys are on the outside. We don't have the staff. I mean, I looked at that first thing, it said 450,000. If you take 10,000, what, $500 multiplied by 43 kids, we get 43 kids that'll take care of that. Money is always a money thing when it comes to our children, when it comes to our community. Here we go, scratching the penis, scratching our head. But we'll pay for everything else. I think that we need to continue to look at this program. You had done an excellent job of explaining just about everything that we need to know. Now, what is your next step? Is that, hold on one second, I had another question. You did say you identified students who had left the district or were not enrolled, who will be willing to come back. Mr. Stewart said that he talked to all 28 of them and they said they won't come back, in my understanding. And do they give a reason why they won't come back? Okay, then there's some data that you guys can look at and maybe go back out and maybe something is missing. We're just not gonna give up on this one, what it is. Maybe they were more comfortable talking to you guys. Maybe we don't know. You know how Flint is. And we don't know. If they committed here, then sometimes people from the administration call and they go, no, then we still got to dig into the root of this. I'm not gonna take a lot of your time, but we need to get to the bottom. I like the work that you did, talk about the poverty. Most people want to ignore this water crisis. You addressed it. It did happen to our children. It did happen. And I like the way that you put that there and the parents expressing that. So I think if the community see groups like yourself out there, I'm not saying the regular people all the time, and because there's a big trust factor here in Flint. I'm not going to hold your time up. I appreciate your presentation. You will be hearing from Superintendent Jones and I. We probably having another meeting when we do the workshop, and we probably giving you information. I appreciate you. Just thank you.
Thank you very much for the time today. Thank you.
Mr. Stewart. Oh, thank you. All right, thank you. Thank you. Thanks. Are you guys here visiting? Are you leaving the same day or what?
Oh, okay, I've been in contact with you. Uh-huh.
She called you up.
Mr. Stewart? Thank you.
Good evening. Good evening. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I was before you guys a couple of months, maybe 3 months ago, requesting a budget of $52,000 for an enrollment and retention plan for the school district. Tonight, I'm here to provide you with an update of where we are with that plan. Next slide, please. So the focus areas for our initiative was retaining current families, preventing scholar withdrawal, engaging former families, we just heard that from Concentric, and increasing enrollment. So, next slide. So how we looking at retaining current families. So we do know that this entire initiative is about retention and about increasing enrollment. So when we work with our attendance agents over the summer, so they identified students who had attendance issues in the previous school year. So this summer, during the summer, they worked with families, find out what the barriers were for the attendance issues, and they tried to work with those families to remove those barriers to start the school off in a better position to, so they will attend school on a regular basis. They prepared material and presentations for the upcoming school year, participated in professional development. Community outreach was big for us during the school year, during the summer. They also work in the summer programming with students, with parents, to ensure the parents are, if there were any barriers during the summer getting to summer school. So they work with those parents then. It's all about, as I heard earlier, it's about developing relationships, right? So them communicating and developing those relationships with those families over the summer, I think will be imperative or to the kids, attending school in the upcoming school year. Next slide. So you just had a whole entire presentation from Concentric, and as you know, I did put on here where they did the 1,050 home visits, the 29 families asked for follow-up. However, they changed their enrollment decision after we reached out to them. And so again, we may there may need to be some follow-up to find out, if we can, and convince those parents to bring those students back to Flint School. Next slide, please. Okay, so community engagement. So we started our kindergarten roundup in April as a part of this initiative. So the Flint market, the Flint Farmers Market, we had a kindergarten roundup. We enrolled 46 students, and 5 of them were schools of choice, which means that they don't live in our district and they chose to come to Flint schools. 5 of those students were. So May 21st, we had our kindergarten roundup. As you know, we have an annual roundup outside the administration building. We enrolled 19 new students that day. So we thrive, and it's kindergarten roundup. So these are kindergartners coming in, and you're going to see later in the presentation where I'm going to speak to the number of students that we've enrolled. But however, we have to make sure that we are retaining these students, because that's the only way we're going to feel the impact of enrolling the new students, the new students we are enrolled. Next slide. So the community engagement continues. We had pop-up events. And what pop-up events were, we in conducting our pop-up events the previous year, we identified that we had a lot of students in the apartment complexes that were not enrolled in Flint schools. So this summer, we made a valid effort to visit every apartment complex in the city of Flint that we can visit that would allow us to have a pop-up event. And we had a pop-up event at those apartment complexes. What that looked like, it was free. It was a free event for Flint families. Again, like I said, apartment complex throughout the district. It was every Wednesday from the June 24th to July 29th. So every week we had a pop-up event. They received enrollment information. We took their information for enrollment, and we reached out to them and got some of those parents in to enroll. We had a gaming truck, free ice cream, and staff that was involved in this was central office staff, building administrators, and the attendance agent. So that was the pop-up event. Next slide. Okay. So this upcoming, not this upcoming Saturday, but next Saturday on the 29th, we're having a back to school event. Now, this is not the end of our initiative. This is just a part of it. So on Saturday, August 29th from 12 to 4, we have a back to school event because we start school the following Monday. And so I also want to mention that what I did mention earlier is that our attendance agents have also been canvassing the neighborhood with flyers and visiting the local businesses, notifying, leaving flyers and notifying them that the first day of school is August 31st. So that is being done as we speak. It will continue to happen until we start school. But the back to school event is August 29th, right here on this campus. And that's a list of things that activities we're gonna have at that event. Bounce house, gaming truck, petting zoo. We always do well at those events. The community always come out and support. It's a good way to, end the summer and start the new school year. And the way we did it at the district, every school in the district is having their open house or their orientation prior to this event. So this will be the final event for them to attend on August 29th. Next slide. So marketing and messaging. So here's a sample billboard of what was up during the summer. We had 12 locations throughout Flint, May to August. Projected views ranging from 81K to 425K, depending on the location of those billboards. The movie theaters, we had a 30-second commercial that would play before every movie at Flint West on Corona Road. I do want to let you know that we did reach out to Trillium and to Imagine and Bertrand, but for some reason they wouldn't return our call so we could put the video there. So, but we got in at the theater on, I think it is at the Rave still. Yeah, we got out at the Rave on Corona Road, and that's where the 30-second commercial, prior to the movie. And then in the lobby on all the screens, they had every 7 to 10 minutes, they would show the commercial again. That's from May to September. And so then we have the radio on WFLT, we had 87 total commercials. So the next slide. But again, this is not the end, this is just an update on what we've done and where we are. So another part of our marketing and messaging was building specific points of pride flyers. So we have, at all the pop-ups and things of that nature, we have events, community have had events where we had tables, and we provide building pride, points of pride. We also took parent information to contact them for enrollment. Website updates, district and individual buildings. With social media, we have enrollment commercials, pop-up events, we have community events, the first day of school reminders. And I do know that we mentioned bus wraps when I first came to you guys, before you guys. They didn't have buses available during that time, but they said that we do have a slot in September. So that means that we will still have some ongoing advertisement in the form of a bus wrap, starting in September. And then we'll also have some additional TV and radio commercials that, again, that's coming this fall. So this is something here I wanna touch base on. So every time a parent comes into our office to enroll students, they have a survey that asks them, how did you hear about Flint Community Schools? So 38%, 31% said my child attended previously. And then there's another 28% that said they heard from friends or family. Now, what that tells me is that to me, that's about experience. So that tells me that those families had a good enough experience to bring the kids to the Flint school. Or so the friends and family, and friends that told them about us must have had good experience. So you're looking at a total of 59% that it was either word of mouth, it was the best source of advertisement and previous experience in the district. And so that's I know that over 100 students that we've enrolled, and the parents filled out that form. Next slide, please. All right, so the district total enrollment as of August 10th, when we had to get this together, was we were at 2703, and that's up from 2584 in June. That was new student enrollment of 119 students, which equates to about 1.9 million. I can tell you that over the past 2 or 3 days, we've been enrolling students all since then. And in the past 2 or 3 days, I know we've enrolled over 35, 40 new students.
Good.
So this is where I want to speak to the importance of retention. Because if we are enrolling 119 new students, we can't afford to withdraw or lose 120 students. Because then you won't feel the impact of gaining the 119. So retention plays a major role in us improving or increasing our enrollment. And so we really need to focus on what we can do in the district, in our buildings, or what have you, to retain students. And so we have families served through our enrollment events. We have 50 families served, and then a number of community outreach events, pop-up 6, and community events 5. So I really wanted you to see the 119 number because I came to you and asked for the 52,000. So this tells me that this initiative was well worth the money. Okay, it was a good investment. Next slide, please. Oh, thank you.
That's it.
Yeah.
Board member, any questions? Yes. Ernest, good job.
Thank you.
I think it takes a lot of work, but one thing I will say, negativity is loud, but positive things tend to be a whisper. I think we have to be very intentional in being loud with our successes. I would have loved to have seen a past graduate student on one of the billboards talking about why they stayed in Flint schools. I think that would be a good message. I don't know if it was, maybe I missed it, but I've heard Superintendent Jones' voice on the radio, but I would have loved to have heard a student talk or a parent talk. But I think retention is just based on productivity. Some things we just have to handle. Okay, you don't have to look at this, ain't nothing coming, but we just got to handle things from the board down to make our district worth coming to. We can have the amazing buildings, we can have the bands and the events, but we have to produce. And that's hard work. Everyone has to roll up their sleeve and we have to be accountable. And I think that's what this district is missing, is accountability. When we're accountable, families will recognize it and they'll bring their kids. Because when you used to being accountable, you could succeed in life instead of deflecting or projecting. So I thank you for your hard work. I'm with you. The 52,000, you know me, I was on the edge, like, why you need that much money? But the 119, one student is worth it to me, to be totally honest with you. So I applaud you and your team, and it's just the beginning. Just got to go to another level. So I just wanted to personally say, good job.
Trustee, I'm sorry, trustee McIntyre.
Go ahead. Yes, great job. I mean, like trustee Rutherford said, one student is just as important as 119. In the future, I would like to, so this is, I'd like us to build on this enrollment experience because we need to keep focusing on enrollment. So, and I understand it was from May to August. Is that right?
Well, we came to you, we came to you guys, we had already started.
Okay, yeah, okay. So, yeah, we kind of wrapped up, but like, I think we should probably have another enrollment initiative. I don't think we should stop just because it's the beginning of school. I think we should do it year round. So I'm wondering if maybe we can have that kind of discussion moving forward. And in doing that, can you go back to the pie graph chart that you had, that one? Okay, so you have, my child attended previously, you have 30, almost 32%. And then you have friends and family at 28%. Now I understand that's great. I mean, I would like to see that be higher because I would like to see more people be like, wow, Flint schools, you know, definitely I'm going to continue. My family went there. My family's going to continue to go there. But the enrollment initiative wouldn't account for those numbers right there because that's already people that previously attended or that are getting enrollment through word of mouth. So what the $54,000 would be doing, if you're going to look at the data, would be the website and the social media, because that's what was added with the 54,000. Would that be correct to say that? You have pop-up events, you have the buses, you have the billboards.
Right, so we added the buses, we added the movie theater, we added, I think we did more billboards this year.
And that includes that, so that would be under social media.
So, did we add social media?
So what does social media mean?
That means advertisement on social media. If they hear about us on social media, and 4.5% that's come through our office said that they've heard.
Right, so billboards, is that social media?
No, I wouldn't say billboards or social media, but.
Okay, so this is just how people heard about schools?
Yes,
Okay, so,
how they've heard about Flint Community Schools, how did you hear about Flint Community Schools? What made you come, how did you hear to come here today about Flint Community Schools, and enroll? These are new enrollments that's coming to our office.
okay, so what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to measure the results of the enrollment to see what's been effective. Right? Is everyone following? Yeah? Okay, so if we want to look at what works and what's most effective, then I don't know if this particular survey would necessarily measure that, but it's something to, is everyone following me here? Okay, all right, so because we want to identify why people want to come back or still be in Flint schools. And we want to look at where we can take, say, for example, $54,000 and apply it to amplify or magnify the most effects or the most results, right?
Yes, and I think what this was in explanation that I received is explaining what you've learned since doing this. initiative.
Right, this is what we, this
What
is,
you've
this is what we've
learned,
learned.
and you're just
with-
expressing this to the board for
Okay.
them to see, not necessarily that the $52,000 yielded this.
Right, and so, and this is only out of the 100+ students who've come to our office to enroll. So it's not a district-wide survey or anything like that.
But this is the 119 students.
Correct.
That we've gotten from May to present. And this is the reason why they've said,
That's the reason why they say they've come here to enroll. How did you hear about us, the community schools? That was their response.
Is the My Child attended previously saying they left and they're coming back now?
They're saying that they had a child who attended previously.
And then they decided to come
Yes.
back to Flint Community
Yes.
School.
They had a child who attended previously, so they probably brought their younger child back.
so what I'm saying is, can we identify what practices are the most effective in terms of targeting enrollment, right?
So
So
that's
I'd
some
like
data
to,
you'd
yeah,
like to see.
so moving forward,
Mhm.
this would be good to find maybe a more honed approach to what is actually, like, if you could get the data between, okay, we have so many billboards, and 8 people saw billboards and decided to sign
Okay,
up.
I got you. I got you. I got you.
Right, so Concentric, I'm not saying this is, I'm not like faulting you,
With-
saying, oh, you didn't do this and this is really bad. What I'm saying is, moving forward, I think it's something that we should be doing all year round, because we wanted a concerted, targeted effort on enrollment. So say we find that billboards, for example, are really effective. 100 people signed up because they saw this particular billboard, and that's not true, but. So if we can do that, like social media, is it TikTok? Is it Instagram? What
Okay, you
social
wanna
media?
break it down.
Right.
Got it.
And I would like to see, this is fantastic, from June 24th through June 29th, you went to apartment complexes every Wednesday, that's 6 events. I would like to know, not just because I'm trying to keep up on you or anything like this, but what apartment complexes, what were the addresses, how many people showed up, what were the numbers? Did you actually enroll people at those? That way we can find out where the population, where the demographics are to try to target. And if we've done
I understand.
Evergreen, for example, then we could go somewhere else and target
I
that,
understand
right?
what you're saying.
Yeah.
You want to drill down more. I get it. I got it.
Yeah. So I would love to get the apartment complexes, the numbers, the back to school events, like almost like if you're doing campaigning, if you had like a van, I don't know if you've ever used van or anything like that, where you have to put in the names and the contact and all that. I want that kind of data so that we can be more effective, so we can use, so that our dollars go more and we can get more and more. And then maybe if we could partner with Concentric, where we've got, so it's like you said, you already know this information. I know you know this information all too well, but you can have a conversation with somebody just because you've had it once, doesn't mean it's not important to have a continuous dialogue, right? And that's where Concentric or anybody else comes in, because you want to keep talking to the parents. It's not like a one and done deal, right? Okay, you've had issues with transportation. We've gone back and talked to first student. How did that work for you? Go back and forth. And that's where I'm seeing where we could get people to help, because you can't be going out and talking to 490 households in addition to your, you know what I'm saying? So you need that kind of thing. You need that kind of evidence, that. So that's all I'm saying. And so, well
Got
done,
it.
but yeah.
I got it. I like I said, this is an update, but if you
Yes.
want more drill down, we can.
So I
look
would
at that.
like, yeah,
Mhm.
more of the specific.
Yeah.
So thank you so much.
Madam President.
Trustee Perkins.
You know what I'd like to see? More explanations on the STEM Academy. Because a lot of people don't understand what that is. On the billboard,
Oh, okay.
on the billboards, that I think would draw a lot of, especially the single mothers or parents, to the Flint schools. I've been talking all over the city recently, and when I ask them, do they know what a STEM Academy is, they don't know. And they don't realize that there are baby 6 weeks old up to 8th grade can go right on the campus right here. They don't understand that. We have to hit where we know they don't have the understanding. And also, I would like to see a billboard with the superintendent president on it, urging the children to come back to public schools, because this is where education is happening. You know, something like that. We gotta get a little creative, come out the box.
So I do want to say that at the pop-up, the things that you're talking about right now, it's the conversation that we have with parents about STEM and about, why they should take their.
It's
kids.
not wide enough. That's what I'm telling you. It's not wide range enough. And then in the areas where we have the lower turnouts, they need to be situated systematically there in those areas. You'd be surprised at how many don't know, and how that message is not getting out. Also, I want to commend whoever did it. We functioned at the Juneteenth and a bunch of, and we had tables there, and I was so proud. Miss Moore and her students were there at the Juneteenth one, and we all took pictures. Some of the staff, Kim, your staff member Kim, and just a bunch of, we were all out there together, pushing Flint Public Schools.
And that was a part of the initiative.
Well, that's what
Just
I'm
like
saying.
We
I
were
was
at
part of it
we were
too.
at the end of the year celebration at the mayor's downtown today as well with the table. So
I was trying to get there, but
Yeah.
couldn't make it.
Madam Chair?
But anyway, that's my spiel.
Yeah, I'll keep my comments brief because we have 23 separate action items tonight on the agenda. But a couple things. I like this presentation. It's very thorough. I really am intrigued by the 5.7 school or staff as a referrals for enrollment. So I wonder if we can engage them more in that. I want to dig deeper into that. Two, I call it, this is attraction work, attracting students. I would be interested in doing retention as the school year begins. And I know we do that already, but just doing more of that work proactively, but also maybe getting some surveys of our new parents and then the parents who've been here for a couple of years. And then finally, can we get this email to us, Mr. Beard? Okay, good. That's all I had. Thank you.
Hey, Mr. Steward, I want to tell you, thank you for the presentation and actually coming to give the board an update on the initiative that we approved. I would, something that I noticed, I like the data slide that we have for the marketing and messaging. I'm somewhat on the same lines from my colleague, Ms. Laura McIntyre, when she mentioned about knowing which locations, how many we had enrolled. More so, how do we present this data in a more robust way? So like similar how you have the marketing messaging, which is good. I like how you put the number of enrollments. Just thinking about how we can say, we went here, this is what we have, a little bit more. And so let's say in those pop-up events, we know which place to attend more. Not, you probably know these informations, but what the gap is, we wouldn't know that. And so if we're asked and say, hey, what are we doing? Hey, we went to so-and-so, and this how many kids we got enrolled, or hey, we went to these places that we know identified. I think it's important for us to be aware of those things, not to my colleague's point, not to know what you're doing every second of the day, but to have more so reinforcements as we communicate and talk to parents, talk to community members, to make sure we're doing that. I would also, me and myself with the social media piece, how do we leverage it even more than we currently are doing? So to my colleagues, Ms. Perkins' point about explaining what the Brownell Home Campus entails, whether it's videos around what we have from 6 weeks old going into the middle school and seeing what's available, I definitely think we can leverage that a little bit more. And social media doesn't cost that much as we look at the other things. But when I tell you, I'm proud of you and your team for executing, showing the results of that execution. And to your point, also saying, hey, we should focus on some retention efforts too, because that's right. It's 100% right. We can do all this work to enroll kids. And if we are doing a poor job at retaining, we definitely will have an opportunity. So I look forward to seeing what retention efforts and initiatives we can create during the middle of the year and in the beginning of the year, starting early. I look forward to seeing what that presentation look like in the future. Thank you.
I like your presentation. I mean, your numbers. When you look at your numbers, you know, my whole concern is that, when we lost 160 some kids from closing Nethercutt, so we kind of got those numbers right back where we was at before we closed Nethercutt pretty much. My concern now is that how are we tracking when parents remove their kids or leave? So come this fall, we have lost a family with 5 kids, and we lost another with 2 or 3 that's taken them out. So I would like to see data, or maybe use Concentric to go back and see, rather than say, I'm mad, I'm taking my kids out, we need to figure out a way to resolve the problems you hear from the public speakers. And no one, parents wants to be heard and respected. And I know what it's like to be poor. I know what it's like to people look down on you because it's your income and they don't look like you. And I can come to you with a problem, you looking at my economic condition, but you need my child to pay your bills because that's what pays the bills here. So what I would like to see is that, hey, we got 8, and I know for sure 8. That's 8 minus 119. We got to keep up with the losses and find out what it is that we can do to gain the respect back for our family. If we can look at that data and say, well, hey, we got 5 here, we got 3 here. There's a well-known pastor, fought hard to keep his kid in Flint school, wanted to, but he was disrespected, wasn't heard. So what did he do? He takes them out and put them somewhere else. And until we learn how to respect, maybe you won't look at the zip code, look at them as $10,300 walking in your door. And, you know, you respect money. So maybe when you see that baby child come in, that's 10,300 speaking. Them 2 girls, them 2 kids, that's $10,300 for speaking. There's $10,300 left out of a pocketbook. Since we can't seem to see the human in human being, I would like to be able to see data like, hey, how many came in, how many left, how many school suspension that you suspended kids, because we don't get them exposure here, but I hear that we had 3,000 some suspension. That's create absenteeism. So I would like to see, I like your data and I like both of your data, but we got to get to the root of the problem. And we need companies like that and go and say what it is. Maybe just suspending a kid. I hear that some kids was vaping on the last day. Well, maybe we could have looked at that a different way. You know, that's a community thing. That's in the house. We got to look at how we discipline our children. And then send somebody in the classroom to help the teachers. Stop giving them all that paperwork. But anyway, that's another story. But I noticed that we only regrouped what we lost from closing Nethercutt. So we still got a way to go to get 3,000. We have to be cautious about closing school, especially a high-performance school. We told 100 some parents that we don't want your kids, rather than try to fix the problem. Whether you like it or not, that's what we did. So I would just like to see when they leaving, if we lose 3 or 4 kids, send the report out. The board needs to know why they leaving. I don't like for them to come here and drop all this on us like we don't care. Half the time we don't know. So if we can get some data with that and how we follow up on our parents and our children, and maybe get some help to that house. But other than that, both guys did a great report. I'm going to end this conversation. Thank you, and we're going to move to our next agenda.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Madam Chair,
Yes.
if I could just say one comment about the action items coming up. Action item 11.11 through 11.19, although it requires board approval, all those are being paid through the donation from the CS Mott Foundation. Just wanted to note that fact, not the general fund.
That's correct.
And
It's from the CS Mott Foundation fund.
okay, so when we get to that item, you know, those items, and I hear what you're saying, and we'll see how we go from that point. Thank you. Something else I was gonna say. So that's an action item. Something else was an action item. Item number 21 is not an action item, it's just for information. That's a Ms. Brett. Am I correct, Mr. McIntyre?
Do we have the,
Right here.
do we have the investigation?
I don't know. You should have, Erica, they sent it to you. You have to read it.
It's in the report pack.
It's in the board packet. It didn't have a page number on it.
Okay.
Ms. Beard, did we, action item 21, it's not an action item. Item 21, is there report in this agenda? It's not a closed session, it's a public information of the, accusation was made public and it had to be read public. Madam Chair. So what, let me finish here. So we'll get to that point, we'll have that discussion. I don't want to tie up our agenda. It's not appropriate to tie up the board agenda with business agenda. So to keep the thing moving, we will proceed, and I hear what Mr. Trustee Looney is saying. I call upon Superintendent Jones to present action items to the board.
Thank you, Board President. I seek a motion and a second from the board to approve Resolution 1.5 Personnel Recommendations.
Madam Chair.
Yes. Trustee McIntyre, I heard you first.
I make a motion to separate items.
Page 26.
Here we go. Yeah, I got it. Okay. I make a motion to separate or not. I'm trying to figure out what numbers they are. A from no. I'm looking to seek a motion to separate the teacher recommendations, the teacher and administrators' recommendations from the professional technical appointments
So you making a motion? I
to,
support.
to separate.
Support.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
I would love to know more information from my colleagues of why they're seeking to do this.
There's a motion on the floor to separate,
And now we're in discussion.
and we're in discussion.
Mhm.
Okay.
Proceed, please.
So I'm in support of of voting for the teachers and the LSS administrative position. But I've already spoken about the professional and technical assignments that I don't agree with. I don't think we need the coordinator of culture and climate, 3 positions at $60,000. I don't, as I've stated before, they're called professional technical, but I consider that administration with a little a. We need people in the classroom. We need more teachers. We need to pay teachers more. And we need people who actually have contact with students, not more technical and professionals in an office building
Chair.
telling teachers math and critical thinking skills directly to students. So this is, and I've spoken about this before, I don't see the argument being made about how these positions are going to increase literacy and are going to advance KPIs and are going to actually do the things that are needed to move the district forward. I just don't see it. And I've spoken ad nauseum in 2 other meetings about my objections to this. And so that's why I wanted to separate, because I don't want to penalize hiring teachers, because I don't want the, uh, the professional technical administrators.
Trustee Loyd?
Yes, so I'll be voting against this separation for a number of reasons. Number one, this board approved these positions several months ago. So these individuals who are educators already applied for this position. They're watching us tonight, and they've gone through the hiring process from start to finish, us being the end of it. Number one, um, I taught in K-12 for over 6 years as a classroom teacher, third grade, fourth grade, and then K through 8 Spanish. Being a teacher in Flint, Chicago, and Detroit is not easy. And you need the whole village to be there, being the principal, the supportive staff, the parapros, and yes, the classroom teachers. They all play an important role. Some schools call these deans, some call them coordinators, but having that person to mentor and support our students and staff with their behavior issues, with the PBIS system, just giving that one-on-one coaching to our Black and brown and white students is very important. And to not have that support system is a detriment, or even to delay it when it comes to having that good culture and environment where our students can learn and our teachers can teach. It's very important. I know my colleague would agree with me who taught in Flint, Dr. McNeil. So I'll be supporting us improving all these tonight. But again, these are not principles. They're not making they're not principals, and they play a very important role. And every person we're hiring tonight, whether it be a parapro, an admin, or teacher, they're all educators who care about our students, and they're all very important to their success, both within the classroom walls, in the hallways, in the cafeteria, and even outside the school. So I'll be voting against this separation. I think we should approve all of them tonight.
Any more comments?
Madam Chair. Yes, I agree with my colleague, trustee Luna, where I would be voting no against this due to the reasons stated. I also want to point out, we've had this discussion to put up the meeting minutes.
Receipts.
July 14th, we discussed this July 14th, we voted to approve these positions for the creation of these positions. We had we had a meeting. I wasn't at this meeting, but it was like a couple weeks prior, where our HR leader was able to explain the roles of the coordinator, culture and climate, and the need for grant support analysts. We had this separate meeting with a PowerPoint, but I remember at the specific meeting, Dr. Coleman and Ms. Montgomery was here, and I asked them to walk us through the purpose and the structures of certain departments here, why these areas is needed. And then at that same meeting, I know we had did not approve the Capturing Kids Hearts training at that meeting. And when I think about the coordinator, culture and climate, we no longer have the Capturing Kids Hearts training necessarily, but we can also have our own way of creating a culture and climate that is conducive for growth in academics and culture. And also when you think about retention, we talk about retention. We know we have some opportunities with culture in each building. We've said that here at this table multiple times. And when you think about, we asked the superintendent to do something about it. The team came up with this coordinator of culture and climate. May I add too, though, this culture and climate position is grant funded. Ms. Templeton, this position is grant funded, correctly? Yeah. Grant funded all the way, right? 100% Title I. When I think about this in Title I funding, I agree with my colleagues when they say teachers, we deserve a livable wage. 100% agree with those statements. I also want to make sure we don't mix up where we can't necessarily pay teachers' salary in whole outside of title funding. We have to increase enrollment. We have to do some some trimming in certain areas, in certain cases. Just want to make sure we draw a parallel here. I believe these positions here will be adding to the progression into building the culture and climate inside of our buildings. Necessarily also, when you never mind. I'm not even gonna go back to that piece, but I would just say that, to say the least. But when we think about grant support analysts, separating that in itself, and after we heard the structure of the department, the need for the department, I think is not conducive. But when I look here, we approved these items at our board meeting at 7:14 for the creation, and our administration team went out and sought these candidates. But that's all my comments. I'll be
For information.
saying no. Oh.
What was the vote for that approval of the positions?
Oh, so yes, so the vote for this, for resolution 1.2, approving of creation of grant support analysts was 5-1. Ayes was myself, Ms. Booz, Ms. Perkins, trustee Relaford, board president McNeil. And nays was trustee McIntyre. And for the coordinator of culture and climate, we have the same votes, 5-1. That's it for me.
Madam Chair.
Yes, trustee Ray.
Thank you. As with my two colleagues who just spoke, I would be voting against separating them. Ms. Montgomery has went above and beyond to satisfy the questions that the board has had. I believe one day she may have had 4 meetings, one I was included in, and she really, she pulled back and allowed the board to have whatever say they wanted to have. And she listened, she went back, and she recreated and made some adjustments. And I just think it's a slap in her face to not want to see this through. We're talking retention, and this is a part of retaining the students and the staff that we currently have, is we provide things that are needed. May not necessarily be what we want, but we're in a democracy, and this board is a democracy where the majority rules. And we just roll with it. We don't want to be hijacked by one person. We just want to take the vote and move forward and allow superintendent and his staff to retain teachers and students and move forward. So I just really ask the board to just move forward so that we can go home. I'm a mother now. I got a 5 and a 6-year-old. It's their bad time. So it's personal for me. Thank you. Oh, Mr. Jones has a hand up.
Okay, so respectfully to the board, we wouldn't be bringing these to you if you had not have approved this job to happen. So to stop what you have approved just last month, this is what you given us instructions to go out and do. So if we're stopping that, I need to understand why we would go back on what was voted on in the last month's meeting for us to move forward. We're just trying to move forward with that work. And they're doing a great job with hiring. You have people out, we have people ready. And this position is we've already talked robustly about it. So I'm hoping that we can move forward with the personnel recommendations so we can move forward with the work that we need to do. Thank you.
I think all the work that we do is important. It's my understanding that you guys was gonna present a job analysis. You guys are just come creating jobs and we come, but we don't have that job analysis. And it's important because we agreed to go into a zero-based budget. We need to know where this district stands. My understanding that you haven't even gotten approval for your Title I. Now, that's why we was having that workshop. So we can understand where your title monies come from? How much do you have? What titles is coming from? I believe that is supposed to be, if I'm correctly, sent out on the 26th of this month. I don't have a problem in changing my vote when something else come up. I'm gonna be held to that. But it was understanding that the last time that you came here, we went along with the those specialists that you have, our behavior specialists. And I was very clear, give me a job analysis. We need that job analysis. I can't keep making decisions. I know you guys as well as come from title. We don't know. You got to say what title, because we say, oh, well, it's from a title. Then we find out it's not from a title, it's from something else. I'm just saying that we're having a title workshop on the 25th, I believe. I spoke with the CFO. These contracts that you guys are bringing must be validated. We have to know your title amount, your grant money, what contract these are coming out of. And I'm Pacific, I hear my colleagues, but I owe this district to be financially responsible. Where is the job analysis that you said that you guys gonna present? And it's what it does, this tells us exactly how many job people you got, where they're gonna be at, why you need these people. And this is a new position. And the success of it, how would it be measured? Have it been proven that it's gonna be a success? All of these things. Yes, I voted for it, but then there's other evidence that came up that I need to look. I asked for a job analysis. That's all we asked for. I'm no longer gonna keep rubber stamping. And all of you qualify, I guess. Uh, Everything we need is important. But when we're in a deficit on both sides of the books, then we've been placed with an academic on top of all of this. How is this gonna help get the academics up? How are we gonna help get out of debt? It's a lot, and I just need a little bit more information. I don't think I'm gonna, vote for this. I would like for it to be moved to the next meeting, which is on the, I think it's the 24th or the 25th. As we talk about the titles and stuff. I finished letting them talk, I'm done,
Madam Chair,
because I hear you guys. Go ahead.
if Ms. Perkins, did you want to speak before I?
I wasn't chairing the meeting.
Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry. I just don't want to cut in front of her.
No, we had spoken. Ms. Perkins did not recognize to speak. However, go ahead and speak, Ms. Perkins. Oh, he said you go.
No, I was saying, I already spoke in the first round, but she didn't speak yet, so I was looking at her, she wanted to speak first.
Oh,
I was
but
being polite to her.
Oh, yeah, I was chairing. You took me from a different. So this is round one, it's over. Let's go through round two. That's what you're asking for, a second round.
So I have a couple comments and a few questions. Mr. Jones, when's the first day of school?
August 31st.
So I know that a lot of these, probably all these staff are gonna be needed. We have less than a month before the first day of school. These are all certified teachers. The technical folks have been thoroughly vetted. Yes or no? Are these people needed for the first day of school for our students? Okay, if we delay it further, will that cause a disruption in hiring these people? I'm speaking right now. Will that cause a disruption on the first day, really the first weeks of school? So again, we approve these positions, and I get it, we can change votes, we can be nimble. We approved these in July. I hear what Madam Board President is saying about getting that job analysis done, but I don't think these two things are mutually exclusive. I think we can move these positions forward while at the same time working to set a firm date and a firm deadline to have that job analysis done. So moving forward, when we have these critical positions that need to be hired, we can know that count, we can know that number. I just think we can walk into it at the same time. I really think we need to vote against this separation tonight and then go ahead and move forward. As I'm counting the votes, I can see it 4 or 2 or 3 or 3, but here's what we're gonna be at. If we get a 3-3 vote against the separation, that fails. If we get a 3-3 vote on taking the recommendation, once that fails, then all these folks will not be able to start their job. So I think it's the most responsible thing for the board to move forward on the recommendations after we vote down the separation, and then work together with the administration, the HR committee, and leadership to really focus on that job analysis. I think that's the most responsible thing. I think it's a compromise, but I hear what you're saying about that because, you know, money is tight and you want to make sure that we're maximizing our resources, both general fund and title money and other resources. But I do think we should move ahead with this once we vote against the separation. Those are my comments.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
Ms. Montgomery, I want you to walk with me. I got a question. I want to make sure I'm clarifying. We created this position partly because the grant from the ISD expired. And this grant, the former title of this position was Student Success Coordinator.
Correct.
Student Success Coordinator. Now, I know people. I know people. Some of these people that's on this list has already worked. They currently worked in Flint schools in that capacity.
Correct.
At the last meeting, I remember was recalling that most of the employees that were committed to Flint Community Schools as a student success coordinator that was expired under the grant under the ISD, we wanted to hire them in Flint Community Schools as our own employees, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And so most of these employees that's here currently already worked in the district.
Yes.
They committed to coming back to the district to work for the district.
Yes.
Would you say that these people that's currently, seeking for this position here has relationships with students?
Yes.
Okay. So my request to my colleagues, I think at their last board meeting, my colleague did ask for a job analysis, but I know we had the conversation about superintendents, but I think if I'm not mistaken, superintendent specifically said we will be bringing forward candidates for these positions. And we never said, no, don't bring forward candidates in that position. We understood that candidates would be coming forward because we approved the creation of the position necessarily. But to my colleague's point, I think we can do both, have a job analysis and still approve these positions, because I think it, from a human standpoint, I applied for these positions because I love Flint kids. I like working in Flint community schools. I was a not direct worker, but I worked in Flint community schools. We create a position. I'm applying for Flint community schools. I want to stay here. I want to stay build my relationships with the kids, and even further, the connections I have with families. And to get here, after we did all the work necessary, approved the creation of the position, and then to be able to tell these employees, no, after they didn't committed to doing it, kind of person I am, if I was told no, after the structure and the governance team already approved the creation of position, I wouldn't apply again. And I think about how do we treat our staff? It's not just about teachers. Teachers are amazing people. They are I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt no one. I didn't interrupt no one. I just think that it's not just teachers in the building that creates good positivity in the culture. There's administrators, there's professional technicals, there's even our janitors that we have, right? There's our hall monitors. Everyone is a part of that. And for us, in my opinion, to tell these dedicated employees that have been tied to Flint kids and Flint community schools for years, no, because of we don't understand something or because of a different reason, after we gave a green light and had the interview process, did all that work, to be told no. I don't think that's a good look on our part. I definitely think we can approve these tonight, schedule a meeting, talk about job analysis. What do we specifically want to see in a job analysis again? And then we get that information as we move forward. But I'm for hiring these dedicated people that has been committed to Flint community schools and our kids. Thank you.
Yes, board president. Can we put a date on the job analysis so that we can have that settled? When can we have the job
Board President,
analysis?
you'll have it next month. I was telling Superintendent Jones, and we had already talked 2 weeks ago about it. I do have a draft document that I'm currently working on right now, but it has to go before Superintendent Jones first before we can present it to the board.
Point of information.
Yes.
So you've already been working on that job
Mhm.
analysis since the last meeting?
Yes.
Oh, you heard us.
See, and that's why the communication with the board is very important. But what I'm saying now, Ms. Danielle, on August the 26th, you said that's your deadline to send titles approval of the MDE. Is the due date of the consolidated application. First of all, we approved for this position. The job analysis, you said next month, I don't know. We didn't even know that you was communicating on it. However, we need to know, do you know how much title money, grant money, where is that, how much we got going up for approval? How much title money we have? That you're going up for approval. Approval over $14 million. And you're saying that this here position is coming from what, Title I to, what title number? So how much money Title I do we have that we sent for the district? Out of that 14 million? How much is it for the district out of that 14 million?
So these positions are written in the building. So the 14 million is the Title I portion of the consolidated staff.
And it's all Title I, 14 million, nothing else inside of it, Title IIIs or none of that? This is all Title I money.
Yeah, that's all Title I.
Point of information.
Yes.
Through you to, Ms. Templeton, are these positions a part of that consolidated application?
Yes, they are. We received approval from the state to keep the position.
Thank
Point-
you.
Okay.
Yes, the positions were approved. The job description was approved by the state in last year so that we could plan to write those into the title application this year.
So you and I spoke on job analysis, what was really needed, why I think that it's important. Then we know that you're going up for the approval. We know that on 8/25, we need to have this district, this board needs to understand the money that's coming in. I know you say it's title and it's grant is not important, but we can use a lot of these funds. And I heard in one of your meetings that you have to return money back from titles you don't use. Am I correct, Kevin?
Yeah, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand the correlation between the consolidated app being turned in. I mean, it's not approved yet. You're turning in what the buildings are asking for.
Correct. We're
Right?
turning in
Their
our
leadership team,
application.
their buildings are asking for, so it's not approved.
Correct.
So.
Right, I got that. I'm not ignorant. Thank you. But I guess what we're trying to say is that breakdown of that title money. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
We wanted that breakdown. These here position right here, we did approve for that position. You're saying that all of it's gonna come out of just that Title I budget? The motion was that, what did you say that you wanted to do with that, Ms. McIntyre?
I just want to split,
To separate.
to separate.
Never
So we
said
can
that we
vote
wasn't not gonna
separate.
approve it. Is you guys hearing something else over there?
Yeah.
Tell me what you hear.
Gonna give me the floor?
Huh?
You gonna give me the floor?
Yeah, because I'm on there, see that we all understand the same thing.
Yeah, so she separated it. She did separate the vote.
But she didn't,
Separated
we're
the,
not saying we're
document.
not approving it.
Well,
She just asked him to be separated.
She just said she wasn't supporting it. That's because why?
That's one vote.
So Madam Chair, if I could add to that, if I can count votes still, the separation is gonna fail. It's probably gonna be a 3-3 or a 4-2
And then
vote.
we have to move forward. And then on the thing about it, here's the thing, it's down to 5 board members. If we don't separate, we'll go for the whole batch that you're talking about. And then that can go up or down. If you're counting the votes. My understanding, Trustee McIntyre, is that the reason you want them to separate, what are you looking for?
Job analysis, like we've asked for 2 years. I'm just,
Are any of these people in the audience was on this list? I'm talking to them. I know you want to talk, but if they're in the audience, raise your hand. Now, are these people coming from GISD?
No, they're direct hires with Flint. They'd be direct hires with Flint Community Schools. Just like what trustee Teray King was saying. The former position was called a student success coordinator. So we did interview some of those candidates and they're, a part of this recommendation that we have tonight.
Okay, we're done with this here. We need to take a roll call. We're voting on separation. Holding on, locking. The vote is to separate. Trustee King? No. Trustee Miller? Rufford?
Oh, no, no, no.
Trustee Luna?
No, fails.
Trustee Perkins?
No.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
And my vote is yes, so the motion passes.
No,
No,
it fails.
no, I'm sorry, wait a minute, that's a no. That's a
To
no.
separate, so it's not separated.
And
it's
so
going
we're
forward.
not going to separate with 4 no's.
Correct.
Madam Chair, I make a motion, we approve personal recommendations.
Support.
It's
Madam
been
Chair.
properly moved in support.
Madam Chair.
Any comments?
Yeah, I think it's crucial we move forward with the recommendations because again, the first day of school is less than 2 weeks. We need to have all these people in the schools, teachers, technical staff, parapros, et cetera. And if I may through Mr. Jones, I see a principal back here and I see the union head. These previous conversations, do they recommend that we do this?
The principals are.
Where's the principals at in here? Raise your hand. Gotcha.
So again, I'll restate the question.
Principals are a part of our interview process.
So they recommended, so the folks in the school building, including the principal, and I'm assuming a lot of the teachers want these positions approved.
But I know in conversations with teachers, but
Okay.
I can't say that, I don't know who was all in the interview process, but I
Yes.
know principals are a part of this. So I don't want to speak for everybody.
Yeah, no, I'm
But
looking at the
yes.
crowd and I see people here.
Yes.
So I haven't taught in 8 years, and I assume one other colleague has been a certified teacher in Flint, but even beyond that, we're at the board table. We're not in the school every day. So it's very imperative we approve all these positions tonight. I'll be voting yes for that. I'm gonna go with the experts, not with the folks who haven't been in the school building at all, let alone as a teacher.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
as the HR chair, I support this 100%. It was stated this information came from the buildings, correct? It's what the buildings requested. So I just say to my colleagues, if we're supporting
Teachers.
Mr. Jones and his administration and his staff, this is part of supporting them. You may not agree with it, but this is supporting them. So if it does not work, then they'll have to come and say why it didn't work. But if it's something that they want, we as elected officials, we have to support them and say yes. It shouldn't take this long to give what they are asking for. It's paid for, the funding is there. We're not going in general funds. It's a win-win, and this is part of retention. Not a personal, it's not what I want, it's what this district needs. And I just asked my colleagues, you gotta keep the main thing, and that's retaining teachers and students and moving this district forward. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
I have a question. Can I speak? This grant support, now this person, how many grant support person did we already have?
We already had the 2 grant field monitors, and then this position was the reclassified position from the secretary role. So it would have been a total of 3 positions.
So that's the role that the previous person had and you
Correct.
moved it to here?
Yes.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay, any more,
Madam Chair.
yes?
Yes, I probably support hiring these 12 educators here on the document, the Assistant Director of LSS and the professional technicals listed.
Which one are you talking about?
I probably support the personnel recommendation that's here. When I look out and I saw the Facebook post around hiring 30 teachers,
I was so excited.
30 teachers. 30 teachers in our district, all the way. I'm so proud of the work that we're doing. I'm proud to see what they were doing in the classroom and support our scholars. So, with that, I probably call for the question.
There's a
Submit it
call
to-
for the question, but I don't know whether it's gonna make it a bit, huh? All right, we'll vote. I had another question, but we'll vote.
We're voting on calling.
Yeah, because this is too important. I just have a question. I know you want to get it done as quick as possible.
privileged motion.
It is a privilege motion. We got that, but I want to respect the person. Do you want to call that for me? I just have a quick question.
I recall it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Is our assistant director LSS here? Is she in the room today? That's a new position.
No,
She's not.
she might be. I don't know if she's watching online. I'm not sure.
A lot of folks are.
Yeah, because I don't want people to think that it's all teachers here. This is a needed position here. That's why I needed to bring that to you guys' attention. It's just not about a teacher. We got this particular person here who's already working here, and we did understand that she's moving to that position. I don't want to call her name. The grant support. Okay, so are we ready to vote? Yes.
You know, I just wanted to say I'm not against the teachers. I'm also not against necessarily the technical and the professionals, but we've been asking for a job restructuring analysis for over 2 years, and we have a mess with title money allocations. And we need to sort that out, and we're not getting the information that we need, and we're not communicating from the board to the administration, to the staff. And so I've explained this in other meetings as well. I'm kind of astonished at how the mental gymnastics that are being done to twist this around into something that it's not. So I just wanted to separate because we've got to get this the title budget sorted out. If you guys aren't going to do that, that's fine. I mean, you know, we're put into another position where we have to vote for something that's less than ideal and less than what the district needs. I mean, we're just walking down the same path and falling into the same hole again.
Madam President. So I'm actually going to respond to that. So early in this, there's a tape.
I have the floor,
Okay, okay, go ahead, finish. No, that's 'cause
so I call the question.
Oh, support.
Support. Watch the tape, folks.
Okay, the question is
It's voting on calling the question.
it's a call for the question. Roll call. Trustee,
Yes.
trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
trustee Luna,
Yes.
trustee Perkins,
Yes.
trustee McIntyre,
Yes.
and myself, yes. The motion on the floor was to approve resolution 1.5. It has it been properly moved and seconded? Yes.
And
We've
we
done
voted.
with discussion, right?
No, we voted, now we're voting on approval of the
1.5?
personnel recommendations.
Yes. So we already got the motion for that.
Right.
And so we had, now, yeah, we're getting ready to vote. Board members, I call your name, yes or no? Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee McIntyre?
Yes.
Trustee Booth is absent. Trustee Rutherford?
Yes,
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Luna?
Yes.
And myself, yes. 6 yes, 1 absent. But let's be clear, we're not gonna keep doing these contracts if we can't get what we asked for.
Point of information.
That's all I'm gonna make a big point. What's your point?
My point is, Mr. Montgomery, when will you have the job analysis completed?
I just asked Mr. Jones that to
Ms.
give that to
Montgomery,
him.
when would you have? the
Next
job ana-
week.
Next week.
Mhm.
Next week. So to my colleagues,
Comfortable
point of
with that,
information to my
Mr.
colleagues, I would request, I
Can we do-
think
don't
it'd
want to
be,
put you in the pressure. Just we can
appropriate,
do it.
if you all agree, that we schedule a meeting, to, see that job analysis.
Point of, information, a point of order right now.
I just need,
hold on, let me finish.
Okay.
Let me say this. You work for our Superintendent Jones. We are not gonna pinpoint no date. You guys gonna work this date out. And then you're gonna bring it and send it. It can be on the communication log, what date, and just send the information to the board. I'm not gonna put you in no strain and we trying to pressure you. He's having an issue with that next week. And that is how it would go. Hopefully, if you have it by that time when we having the workshop, the title workshop, we can have that data then. Is that a good thing for you,
I'd
Superintendent?
like to talk to you.
Yes.
Because if we're gonna do this, if
Yes.
we're gonna continue to do what we've been doing, I want to do it right.
Yes.
And we do it the right way the first time. So, I'd like to talk to you
Okay.
tomorrow, and
Sure.
then I'll send an email to the Board of Education.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
as the HR chair, I would like to be involved like we did before, kind of talk about it. Thank you.
Madam Chair.
Because that's a finance issue, the job analysis, because to deal with money, it's gonna have the money, how much, all of that is in the job analysis. Normally that goes under finance, and that's why we will have that, and the whole board will be involved, but it's finance, under the finance chair. Whether they like it or not, it goes under the finance chair because you're gonna see what their job analysis entails. It's got HR, they got money involved in it, and Trustee Luna needs that, would be you chairing that meeting. And Superintendent Jones said he's comfortable with that, and so we can just move forward with that discussion. We can have it another time, and we just got to get this done. We are done with that motion.
I mean, since we're kind of getting out of the motion
We
already.
got to, wait a minute, hold on. You got to ask about something else outside of what we.
one question to ask
Okay, yeah.
I see on the teacher thing, so you did find a person for English in Southwestern? The teacher.
Which
You said you were gonna hire a teacher for Southwestern. You were searching. Remember I asked the last meeting?
She probably couldn't find one, I don't think.
It's on here.
It's Southwest, you got a social worker.
Which one were you referring to from Southwestern? Yes, yeah, we have a candidate. Was it the ELA one?
No, it's for Southwestern.
What are you looking for?
Right,
Dr.
but
T?
which one from
An
Southwestern?
English teacher.
Say what?
Was it the English teacher?
English teacher.
Yes, yeah.
For Southwestern?
Mhm.
Oh, right on.
Okay.
Get it. Okay. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's on your last page, page 26, you can see that?
Yeah, I was just questioning.
Okay, so we're done with this, right?
Right on.
Mr. Jones, let's proceed. Proceed,
I
Mr.
seek a
Jones.
motion and a second from the board to approve resolution 1.6, authorization to execute tuition reimbursement partnership agreement with Powers Catholic High
So
School.
moved.
It's been properly moved and second. Is there any discussion? Seeing no further discussion?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
Chair, Ms. Montgomery, could you share that conversation you shared with me, please, for the public?
It's a point of information. Are we talking about 1.6?
Yes,
And we're
yes.
going back into discussion?
No, she's just.
Wait a
she-
minute, it was a motion, and it's a motion that been second. Is there any discussion? So
That's
you're
the
asking,
discussion.
you're asking for her.
No. What does this mean?
What does what mean?
So essentially, what we're asking for is a recommendation for approval for a tuition reimbursement partnership agreement with Powers Catholic Schools. What happens is they have a portion of grant funds that are actually administered through the district. And so in one sense, the funds actually flow through. So with a portion of the Title IV funds that they have, they've created a tuition reimbursement program. And under the advisement and recommendation of legal counsel, they thought it would be important for the district to have a partnership agreement to determine how those funds would be allocated.
So those are not our funds.
No.
They belong to Powers, correct?
Correctly.
I thought it was important that the public heard that. Thank
Okay,
you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Any more discussion?
No.
Roll call. For resolution 1.6, Secretary Perkins.
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre, you guys can leave.
Oh, okay.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Trustee King.
Yes.
Treasurer Luna.
Yes.
And myself, yes, 6 yes, 1 absent. Board member on page 46 is the retirement resignation. Do any board member have any question or comments?
I do.
Proceed.
So are we gonna be able to, actually, I do need to talk to this, Ms. Montgomery.
Oh, what, you had a question about?
About
the-
the Montessori teacher, are we gonna be able to move forward with the Montessori teacher?
Where you at, the one that's retiring?
Uh,
We doing,
Okay. I thought that was part of the retirement.
Madam Chair,
Okay. Never mind.
I just got one comment.
hold on 1 second. We on page 46,
I
we
got
talking
you.
about retirement and resignation.
All right.
Any board member have any comments or anything regarding that? part?
Yes.
Proceed.
Yeah, just at the event we were at earlier in the morning at the senior center, there was a individual who said his mother retired sometime recently. She put like 42 years in the district, so
Uh-huh.
he's gonna give me a call probably tomorrow, and I want to make sure you recognize him publicly, his
Okay.
mother. So just FYI.
Do we know the
I
person's name?
don't know the person's
Oh,
name, but
okay.
he told me, but I forgot what the name was.
Okay.
That's all.
Mr. Tong, would you please continue?
Yes, we are in finance.
We are in finance, finally.
Okay. I seek a motion in a second from the board to approve 11.7, authorization of agreement for zero-based budgeting support.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I move to approve item 11.7.
Support.
it's been properly moved and supported. Is there any discussions?
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I know you've worked really hard on this together with the administration, our colleagues, Ms. Davis, and other folks. I think it's very important we do this moving forward. I know it's a process. I'll be supporting this tonight.
okay. Any more discussion? Roll call to approve 11.7. Trustee Perkins,
Yes.
Vice President McIntyre,
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford,
Yes.
Trustee King,
Yes.
Treasurer Luna,
Yes.
and myself, there's 7 yes, 1 absent. Proceed, Mr. Jones.
I seek a motion in a second from the board to approve resolution 11.8, authorization to purchase Microsoft licenses from CDW-G.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I move to batch items 11.8 through 11.21.
Support.
there's no support.
There is support.
She's second, discussion. We should badge a while. I want to say something about the badges if I possibly can. It's not fair to our taxpayer. We only have 1 meeting. They don't get to hear what we're trying to badge. We're not trying to hide anything. If we had a cow meeting with these items on it and move into action, I support that. I won't support a batch because we done ran out of time. The biggest problem with this package here is that they have a certain time to get these packages to the administrator. She could not get the package on time. That means I could not get them to review them and ask questions prior. You don't determine my days when you have 3 or 4 days, and she has so many days to get this, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, that I have 4 or 5 days to look at this. And we're gonna come in and batch, not tell the public what we're gonna batch. So I'm against the batching right now because it's not fair, to the public. I guess it's 9 o'clock. I wanna go home too. But in due respect to the public, let them hear each item that we're gonna approve.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
to the public, this is public information. There's nothing this board can do that you do not have access to. Anything that we approved, you have access to it. So if you have any questions or need clarification, we're available, and superintendent them are available to answer any questions. So we never want you to think that we are trying to do something underhanded, because the public has a right to know. And we have laws that we must abide by.
Trustee
Thank you.
Lona.
Yeah, Madam Chair, look, I've had longer nights. So if you want to go through each item and do it individually, I'm fine with that, but just for the public's information, for myself, the reason I'm cool with batching 11.9 to, I believe it's 11.19 is because all those are change orders for the playgrounds, right? So it's just, we're making adjustments with the money that we received through the CS Mott Foundation as a donation. So it's private money, and we're just saying, you know what? For example, this guy got pits and mats. It actually was more expensive than we were originally anticipated, right? So we're just approving the increased cost with private philanthropic donations. But I hear you when it comes to the actual public general funds and title money, but that's why I'm fine with batching those items, but that's me.
I appreciate everybody's comments. I appreciate that. Some people think that people can go on the internet and look it up as what they want. But right now, he that has the ear, let him hear. Let him hear what we said. And it shouldn't take long to go through each one of them and say what it is that we're approving. It's just my opinion. I'm not saying nobody's hiring none. It's just that I work for the taxpayer and I work for the community. So I have no problem. Yes, I want to go home. But we spend this whole time this is what happened. You don't get your package on time. You can't call and ask questions prior to coming to the meeting. So what it is what it is. The question on the floor was the best. Trustee McIntyre, you had your hand up.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows how I feel about batching. I don't think it's best practices, and I know that we're allowed to do it. I just don't think it's something that should be done for the reasons why you stated, Dr. McNeil. I also think, and I've said this year after year, I don't think that the administration and the board should take summer vacation off. We've got more work to do during the summer, and so not having COW meetings and having 4-day work weeks. I mean, it ends up with a pile of resolutions in a single meeting, and I don't think that that's fair to anybody, really. So while I can understand it may seem like these action items are mundane or just change orders, in the practice of democracy, I mean, it really is best practice to go through so that you understand what's happening. And I did have a question about one of them about shoot, if I wish I could find it, the signs.
Point of order. Point of order.
11.17.
Yeah.
Point of order.
What's your point?
My point is, we're currently voting on the bashed items. And so the questions and the comments should be geared towards the bashed items being germane to the motion.
I saw the floor. The reason why I'm bringing this up now is because I can see how we're getting a little testy with one another, and there has been call for the question on previous motions. And if this is batched, I don't want it to just be rammed through like everything else. I did have a question about the dedication sign, so I don't have to ask it right now, but I would appreciate it if the question isn't called, and whether we batch or don't match, if we could, address that. But
Thank you.
I just don't agree with batching.
When you call the batch, I think it would be fair, and then it's just asking the board, would you mind naming out what you're batching just for the hearing of the public, out of respect? Then we can move forward so we can batch, but at least so if we could just give them the name, whether we like it or not, if you can say, what are we batching, and that title next to it, would that be fair?
May I?
So
So-
like
so-
11.8, authorization to purchase Microsoft, 11.9, and then batch.
So you're
and
saying
then say
just
batch.
read out what we're batching?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can do it real quick.
Oh, thank you. Yes.
All right, so
That's all I asked.
the items we're batching are 11.8, authorization to purchase Microsoft licenses from CDW-G. 11.9 is authorization to install Gaga pits and mats at one of the playgrounds. 11.10, authorization of service agreement with schools open. 11.11, authorization to purchase chain link fencing and double gate at Potter. 11.12, authorization to add additional asphalt pavings to repair the Dull Rider. 11.13, authorization to install frost slab stoops in DTM courtyard. 11.14, authorization to install fire alarm devices in DTM courtyard. 11.15, authorization to purchase boulders and fencing at playgrounds. 11.16, excuse me, authorization to change the perimeter fence height at Eisenhower. 11.17, authorization to purchase and install dedication signs for new elementary playgrounds. 11.18, authorization to install basketball wall and breakaway rims at Eisenhower. Authorization to undercut unsuitable soil at Eisenhower. And I believe you just said 11.8 to 11.19.
Yeah, because that's what we're batching, right?
Oh,
Yeah, we
well,
can do all of, yeah, go
okay,
ahead.
well, 11.20, Flint High School testing and inspection recommendation letter. 11.21, FCS New High School Clark General Condition Recommendation. And I'll just finish with this. I don't feel like debating about a basketball hoop and a rim.
Okay.
So I think we can
All
just
right,
approve
so,
these.
we are seeking approval to batch, and you heard it on records, 11.8 to,
21.
11.21. Roll call. Trustee, King.
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Trustee Luna.
Yes.
And myself, yes, 4 yes, 3 absent from the table.
Madam Chair.
Yes, I want to say this right quick. There's something just happened to one of the board members' family. So we're gonna skip the board as a whole. We're gonna bring that back because that's under, the, Board of Committee. That is regarding the investigation finding concerning myself and me taking kickbacks. So there, we got the finding about that, and that would be public information. Let's move over to academic.
Madam Chair.
Hold on one
We-
second, let me get to that point.
Madam
What
Chair.
page we on?
You gotta approve the batch items.
We got all catch up.
We did vote.
Madam Chair.
Did we vote?
No. Madam Chair.
Oh, 'cause we
We voted
voted
to
to
batch.
batch. I'm sorry, thank you.
No worries.
Now there's a vote to
No, Madam Chair.
approve those items. Trustee King,
I move to approve the batch items.
Support.
it's been proper movement and support. I thought we did that. Trustee King,
Yes.
trustee Rutherford.
Yes.
Trustee Luna,
Yes.
and myself, yes, 4 yes, 3 absent from the table. It's okay.
Ready?
Go
Okay, go
ahead.
ahead.
Yeah.
Okay, I seek a motion in a second from the board to approve resolution 25.5, renewal of Head Start operational agreement, lease agreement, and interagency agreement with the Genesee County Community Action Department for 26, 27, 23 on mine.
Oh, that's a big difference.
Madam Chair.
Okay, that's resolution 25.5. Are we seeking, he's seeking a motion in a second?
Madam Chair.
Yes.
You said you would like to read off each one of these in a batch.
Are we going back to that? Did we go ahead and approve that?
I'm
We
asking.
don't have to read them all off. We just approved the whole batching.
I'm saying you want me to read, you said you want me to read, if we make a motion for a batch, common courtesy for you was to read each item. You want me to do that?
No, because you don't have to read the batch.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm-
So we,
Oh, I think you talking.
I'm about to make
moving
another
forward.
batch.
Oh, he's about to do all the academics right now.
oh, no, because there's something about this school that I hadn't heard anything about. I just think this, we shouldn't move, the whole
School.
thing, the Head Start operation, 25.5.
Madam Chair,
Yes,
I move to approve item 25.5.
Support.
it's been properly moved and second. Any discussion?
Yep, Madam Chair, can the administration team share about the Head
Yes.
Start operation agreement, please?
Good evening. Good evening.
This is Miss Latasha Wilson.
Hi, Miss Latasha.
Ms. Phil, how you
So
guys
the,
doing? I want you guys to enlighten me. I saw that in the packet. I didn't have a time, to read it. That's the first time I've been hearing rumors about it. So update me, if the other board member have it, but I don't have it.
So the G-Card operational agreement and contract is for the Brownell Early Childhood Wing. So they supplied the Early Head Start program for the continuation of services. So they do 6 weeks to 2 years of age. Those are the families that they service for us.
This isn't new. This is a
No,
renewal.
this is
the-
not new.
Oh,
This is a
okay, but you're gonna
renewal.
have that burnout. Oh, man, you're gonna have it
It's
here?
there right now.
Okay, okay.
And it's been it's started over at homes when we had our early childhood at homes.
Yeah, okay,
And
yeah.
it has just relocated here to our Brownell Early Childhood Wing,
It was relocated when we did the.
when we did the renewal.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the renovation.
Right, the renovation.
Okay, all right. Yeah, clear comment.
Madam
Any
Chair,
discussion? Trustee Rutherford?
yeah, this not new, right?
It's not new.
We didn't
Right,
say
'cause
that it was
what-
new. I just
I-
wanted to
no.
update.
Get
Go
my
ahead,
thoughts
proceed.
up. I remember visiting that room with the little infant kids, so that's why I was like, this not new.
Yes, so we partnered with G-Card.
Yeah,
for
we always have.
7
Correct.
years.
Correct.
Yes.
So, okay. I'm in support of this. I just wanted
Yes.
clarification. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Ms. Wilson.
Any more discussion? Roll call. To accept resolution 25.5. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes, yes.
Treasurer Lona?
Yes.
And myself, yes. 4 yes, 3 absent from the table. Trustee Lona, I would be in agreement with the batch and the rest of these.
Yeah. Madam Chair,
Mhm.
I make a motion we batch items 25.6 to 25.11, and I just read them out as a courtesy to the public.
Support.
25.6 is,
Oh, you said
You
25
didn't,
to
he didn't finish
2011.
reading, go
I
ahead.
thought you
Oh.
said 11.
yeah, so 25.6 is authorization to approve core instruction literacy technology resources. 25.7, excuse me, I said that fast, is to approve IT infrastructure and management technology resources. 25.8, authorization to approve classroom engagement and creativity technology resources. 25.10, authorization to approve STEM and specialized learning technology resources. This one's long. Authorization to, 25.11, authorization to sign memo of understanding, MOU, with U of M Flint dual enrollment enhanced program, known as DEEP. And 25.12, authorization to approve Success for All for Eisenhower Elementary.
So the motion was to back. Any other discussions? Roll call to batch. Trustee Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Trustee Lona?
Yes.
And myself, yes, it's 5 yes and 2 absent. The next motion is to approve.
Madam Chair, I make a motion we approve the batch items.
Support.
It's been properly moved and supported. Any discussion?
I just got one comment.
Yes.
I think it's been 10 years now, but a while ago, I had the pleasure of teaching Success for All to Trey McKinney, so that's my one brag about him.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was in 5th grade.
Thank you. Roll call to accept. Secretary Perkins?
Yes.
Trustee Rutherford?
Yes.
Trustee King?
Yes.
Treasurer Loon?
Yes.
And myself, yes, 5 yes, the motion passes. Right now, we're going, if remarks from individual board members, keep in mind it is up to 9 o'clock. Any board have any comments?
Yeah, I'll just be real quick with mine.
Okay.
Again, thank you again, Board President, for coming out to the coffee and conversations event we had at the community center. We had some good feedback, and I really appreciate us doing that. I think moving forward, we could have more of those events. I know they're very important, and sometimes, even though folks don't like what you say, they appreciate you being there and listening. So I think that's very important that we move forward doing that. And I would just say this: I won't go too deep into this comment, but these meetings are recorded. So if we say one thing at one point in the meeting, then go to another thing, it's on there as public record. I mean, like, we have to stand on business. If we oppose something or support it, so just let's be transparent and clear on that. Stand on business, keep it moving. That's it. Thank you.
Madam Chair. First of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak, and everyone, thank you that stayed. This is not easy, but our public comments, I want to comment on that. That stops individuals from coming to our district. That type of discord, you gotta squash it, Mr. Jones. However, that has came to the board twice, and we gotta resolve it. And I can't say what to do, but I think a police report will resolve it. Because if it's not a police report and those accusations are made, I just think the district can do due diligence, just my suggestion, to make people whole. If it's apology or whatever, but that right there, negativity is loud. And if we can at any opportunity have dialogue and resolve it, may not be resolved to everyone's process, but allow everyone to be heard so we can move forward, because that took up a lot of this meeting. I thought it was a very productive meeting, but I think for me to have a bottleneck in this meeting and then turn around and vote yes and nitpick, well, I'm not going to use that word, to challenge the staff that has done their due diligence, it just, I'm confused, because these are the same individuals that have agreed to pay $100,000 to tell us something we already know. So I just like consistency. So we just, as a board, we must be mindful. And to the public, voting matters. Voting really matters. And there's nothing like watching people on the job. Your vote matters. Vote your interests, not your friends, but your interests. Thank you.
Madam,
Trustee Perkins.
I wanted to let everybody know that we do a lot of extensive training on this board so that we can be better stewards of what you've entrusted to us. Since Trustee Booz and I went to Kalamazoo this past week, we took a lot of extensive training, and it was really informative, and I really appreciated being able to do that, because knowledge is power. And I think it gives us a better insight as to what we need to be doing, what we should be doing, and what we are doing. So she is gone on vacation, but I would feel remiss in not saying that. Only other thing is, I had a phone call today, and this superintendent is for you. Do we have, I got a concerned parent that called about filing a complaint against the state for DTM because there was some problems with the IEP. And I don't know if y'all want me to mention his name, so I won't.
You can just.
I'll talk to you. Okay. All right, that's all I got. We had a lack of a teacher and the communication, like,
We want to know about your training.
oh, my training was
I
excellent.
turned my mic up. What was the training about?
MASB.
Oh, it was
MAS.
MASB.
Okay.
You know, we had all of our classes that we normally take. I actually took governance. I took, no, well, I had taken the president 1 and 2 classes, and we had some evaluation classes. Some of the instructors that come here to train us were there training us.
Okay.
also.
I was just curious.
Stuff like that.
Got you. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, everyone. My comment is this here. Concentric, you've done a fantastic job. I hope to work with you more. It's not what you know, it's what you don't know. Even though we have people doing the same work, not the same, because we're just getting data. The issue is we need about anywhere from another 2,000 or 3,000 kids to be able to survive as a district. It ain't about, you know somebody and I don't want this person,
But if you don't have outsider, that's how we done gotten to where we got, because we went outside of the box. It is my job is to lead, and I think I did a pretty good job by majority. I appreciate your work. Any disrespect, I apologize on this board. I am gonna always ask questions. And when you come before me, I can agree to, but I know what I asked for and what is needed. This district is getting ready to change. We will overcome. They put a mandate, what it is, Mr. Jones, for our M-STEP, they don't put a pressure on these, pressure on the principal and teacher. 9% growth each year. If you fail at getting 1%, what do you think the challenge is? 9% per year. I'm calling in everything that I can to get help. Because we had the same people here and we still, every year, we have not been able to get 1%. And they're not playing with us. So I ask the public, I'm for the parent. I'm for the kids. I hear you. I respect you. We got to look at how this building is used. We need the policy. Mr. Jones, we need the policy. How this building operate when it's for community. Why is it that when I walk in, we got two different security companies? You got the one that we hired. You got another that this person that's doing the event hired. Who is the boss? Where is the paper that said we banned certain people from this building? You can't just make things up as you go. You can't. There was a mother with a kid. They was giving away shoes. And because somebody said you can't come, where's the paper? So the little 18-month didn't get a pair of shoes. 80 degrees, stayed out in the sun. Wouldn't let her come in to get a glass of water, juice. But Mr. Jones, I'm putting it upon you. What is the policy when you haven't? It was a chaos. I was at home in my bed. It was a chaos. Who is running this? Ms. Elwood had a hard time trying to keep the exits open. They walking over her, disrespecting her. So I would look for that policy. What is the policy? Where's the police officer when we have a public event? Security can't do this. And I don't know who that third security company was. So Mr. Jones, I put this back on you. And Trustee Rell is correct. We can't have this. If you've given somebody something, give it to them. Two families came. The kid was too sick to come and get some shoes. And the person giving the shoes that were too bad because they have to be here. Were they free shoes? Took all the shoes and took all the socks. So we can't have one person trying to run an event like that when you got hundreds of people coming in, overcrowding this building, being rude, being disrespectful, and then we have this coming towards us. Same people, let's solve these problems. 8 kids have left this district before school started. That's $80-some thousand. We just got to do better. And when we do better, we all do better. Let's respect each other. I just said to the president, I expect to be disrespected because everybody have different opinion. But I will sit here and hold this gavel until January, and I will make sure that this district be efficient, support the staff that's needed, listen to these unions, listen to these teachers, because they got to get in that classroom and get it up to 8%. If that teacher says she needs some help, give it to them. The principal said they need some help, give it to them. Because the state don't care about what the problem is, they just care about those scores. Seeing that there are no more comments, the Board of Education.
Madam Chair.
But I would speak again after he speak, after nominate President speak last. Proceed,
I
Trustee
didn't get
King.
the opportunity to even ask that question.
Proceed,
but,
Trustee King.
Yeah, I'm proceeding with my comments. I want my comments to make sure I'm clear. To my colleague's point about the pressure from the state to increase our academics, I'm 100% for supporting teachers, the professional technicals, the administrators that our administration team has sought to hire. To my colleague's point, she said, if they ask for it, give it to them. When we sit, I just want to, I've always said this, we have to be mindful of the words we say, how we say things at this table, because our words sends wave not through just through the district, it sends it through the community. And it's important that elected officials make sure that we're sharing correct information and not misinformation due to lack of understanding. And I think it's important that we don't sit here and say we're going to give the buildings, the staff, and then we question and we put our staff members on edge about how can they get a job. When we approve the job, I don't, to those employees, I thank you for sticking with Flint Community Schools. Thank you for the tumultuous time. But I just want you to be clear. I want to be clear for me as it stands for me. I'm going to support hiring teachers. I'm going to support to ensure that principals have what they need to ensure that we're meeting our test scores. I'm going to support our administration to achieve our goals to get there. Now I'm going to ask questions. I'm going to make sure I'm understanding, but I would not be a barrier and sit here and say, hey, we're going to give it to you, and then at the last minute change it. I don't think that's a proper way to go about governance. But that's my comments for tonight.
Thank you. Superintendent Jones, we finally coming, we have been working, on Fridays and Saturday, the board. Mr. Jones, want to explain how that, they did put a plan, how we can get to that 9%?
Yeah.
When
Yep.
you're gonna present it?
Yep, sure. So first, I would like to say, Board President, that there is an investigation underway from the comments today. I sent an email to you all this evening, letting you know where we are with that. So the investigation is underway. I would not add too much to that until that is complete. It is being done appropriately. And
Who's handling the investigation?
our student service department is handling that investigation. And they're handling that. So I'm not going to speculate or get involved in that
Thank you.
until it is time for me to. But we also, when there is events, there is a rental agreement that takes place with events that happen in our district. So when this will all be given to all of you, Board President, to ensure that everyone knows what actually took place. Again, I don't want to speculate. I want to make sure things are done appropriately. To answer your question, the academics department will be coming forward to talk about the plan for us to reach the goals that were given to us or created by us and the state for our partnership agreement. We can talk about that when that is going to be presented to the Board of Education. I know that in your KPIs, that is something that I was tasked to do, was give dates of when presentations will take place. So that is a part of that. And I will make sure that in the next week or so, you have that date and time.
Question I asked, is there, and I remember when the cube first started, there was a standard operation procedure. I think Janelle was working on maybe with the mod, that there's a policy as it relates to procedure and process for this cube for public event.
That's what you were asking me.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I thought you were asking about an academic plan.
Yeah, I asked for that
Yes.
too, but can we have a copy of it? Yeah.
Yes, we could discuss that. I know they meet every month with the community leaders that are in this building. And they have come up with plans together of how this building operates in the course of every day. So I will make sure that the board
Because
gets
my
that information.
understanding that once they do that procedure and policy, it comes to the board for approval. What is the policy and procedure when we have a public event? What do you do? Who's banning? We need to know those policy and procedure. Who's in charge? Who's opening doors? Who's all over the building? And Ms. Jeanette can't do it all by herself. So what I'm asking is that we have a policy and procedure in place, how this facility operate when we're doing a public event. And we should never have happened what happened because the district could have been liable for something that these people are talking about. So on that note, the next Board of Education will hold its next meeting on September 9th at 6:30 PM here at this building. This meeting is adjourned. Hold up for a second. 9:36. If everybody get their